Sports Talk leader, Tiger Communications proudly presents SportsCall. It's time to join our SportsCall crew as they discuss the latest headlines and happenings around Auburn and the entire sports world. To be part of the show, give us a call at 334-887-3401 locally or toll free at 1-888-9-TIGER-9. We're taking phone calls all show long and want to talk about whatever you've got on your mind. And now, coming to you live from the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show, Sports Call.
Welcome, Auburn, into another week of Sports Call, live on Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. My name is Ryan Lavoie, the host of the program. Today, I am joined by Jack Myrick and Tom Peavy as we broadcast live from our Auburn Bank studios. Of course, on all the different mediums that I just said, and including streaming, we are back on YouTube and Facebook, so you can watch the show if you so desire. Again, Sports Call Auburn on Facebook and on YouTube. Got a fun show for you here on this first show of the month of August. Coming up today, we will talk MLB trading deadline. A bunch of teams have been busy. There was not a lot of action 48 hours ago. There has been a lot since. We will discuss that. The Braves have made 3 trades in the last couple of days. So we'll go over that and what the Dodgers continue to do on the trading front. Also on the program today, we get nearer and nearer to fall practice. There will be press conferences tomorrow, and they'll hit the football field on Wednesday. We'll give you a few things to watch out for Auburn fall practice. Also on the program today, we get to 14th in the preseason SEC poll, so it will be time to preview the Kentucky Wildcats on the program this afternoon as we go through all 16 SEC teams one at a time, one per show. And, of course, it is a Monday, so we will have best and worst of the weekend at the end of today's program. And if you want to give us a phone call on the already busy Sports Call phone line, 334-887-3401 locally, or toll-free 1-888-9-TIGER-9. Ryan, Jack, and Tom with you here today. Tom Peavy, hey. How are you doing, sir, in these first couple of days of August?
I'm doing great. Had a good weekend. Got some gardening done, got some cooking done, and enjoyed kind of a nice lazy weekend, but definitely keeping an eye on all this sports stuff. And you mentioned the Dodgers, and that's just ridiculous. We'll go more in depth on that, but yeah, a lot of movement going on in the baseball world right now. A lot of well-known names moving on to other teams. So a lot to talk about there. Yeah, we are getting really close to college football starting off, practicing, so that's big. You always get excited about that. Obviously, when we were in Tampa with SEC Media Days, that's kind of the kickoff feels of the season, and then now we're starting to get there to the practice time. So, a lot going on, a lot to talk about, and I'm ready to get into all of it.
We are down to 26 days till week 0 and 33 days till Auburn begins their 2026 campaign. So we are getting close for sure. Jack Myrick, how was your weekend? How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. Yeah, it was a lazy weekend. Not really much really going on. Kind of just laid around. Play with the dog. Went and saw the new Spider-Man movie and enjoyed it. Yeah, I would say this: if the new Spider-Man movie, anyone that's gone through a breakup or any kind, do not watch that movie. That movie is just tragic. If you're going through that, I was thinking that. I texted one of my friends that actually just went through a breakup, and I texted him. I was like, "You do not need to go see Spider-Man. That's gonna maybe hit a little too close to home in some aspects." And so, but yeah, otherwise, the movie's good. See, always to keep up. There's 40 movies total, I think, that you have to watch to understand what's going on. But yeah, fun weekend, just lazy. Nothing better than that.
I honestly, I could not tell you the last time I watched a movie in a theater.
That saddens me.
Yeah. I don't go a lot.
Go see the Odyssey. I haven't seen it, but that's
the whole reason I brought this up is because I may have to go and watch Super Troopers.
Okay.
That was not what I thought.
Yeah, that's not what I was. It was packed this weekend. Like, it was packed. Like, when because I went to a 2:30 showing, and it was completely sold out. Parking lot was completely full. I'm not big into movies, but I do love movie theaters. And so that was something that made me a little happy to see, like, a midday on a Saturday is completely packed at the theater. Not even like at night where you'd probably expect most of the traffic to be, but no, it was like completely packed. I remember walking into the theater because the line was going out the door to get to your tickets, and luckily I did the pre-order ticket, so I just was able to get by everybody and just go scan in and go sit down. But yeah, just happy to see something like that though.
Yeah, I saw. I think it was 350-ish million that it made an opening weekend. Yeah. It was more than the previous Avengers movie, and worldwide it opened to almost $1 billion in one weekend. It's fourth for the year in just 3 days, and
crazy,
or 4 days. And then the Odyssey was high up there too. So the whole weekend went well over 400 million in the U.S.
You saw something. It was talking about, like, this is one of the biggest overall weekends since COVID.
Yep.
And it's like kind of like the movie industry is back. And ever since COVID, and they're just trying to get back on track with things. And all of a sudden this weekend is just like blown up, and they're like, okay, we're back.
Yeah.
And other big movies coming out later in the year. I joke about, I'm not joking about Super Troopers. I want to watch it because I love the Super Troopers. The first two, I love the movies those guys put out, so I'm interested in that one. But there's other big movies coming out before you get to Christmas too that everybody's kind of looking forward to.
Yeah, that late November, early December is when the next grouping, because we'll ride off this for a while with how big Spider-Man was. But yeah, there's another,
because that Avengers Doomsday is probably going to do
that's going to do bank, and there's another Hunger Games.
I'm interested in that new Johnny Depp Scrooge movie.
Scrooge, late October, early November, something like that. I may or may not be talking movies and best and worst of the weekend later, so might have even more box office figures for you. But yeah, needless to say, I have not seen either. Just because if I'm going to go by myself, I'm not going to go when there's 1 million people.
Sure.
So either need to go with group when there's 1 million people, or gonna wait for it to die off a little bit. And as Jack alluded to, Spider-Man, I saw some sold out theaters and all kinds of stuff over the weekend, which I love. Again, whether I go early or late, that's not the point. I want a lot of people to go to the theater. So I think that was all awesome for sure. All right, let's get into it here on our first show of the month of August. Also our first show since turning 31. We technically turned 31 as a program on August the 1st. Obviously not broadcasting on Saturday, but 31 years of operation now. So we are excited about that. And I think it's a pretty cool way to start this streaming thing on YouTube and Facebook, and maybe a few other things down the road. So we're certainly having a good time with that. Again, you can watch us now on top of the regular audio medium. You can watch us on Facebook and on YouTube, SportsCall Auburn. All right, so let's get to our first phone call as we get going with the program today. 334-887-3401 locally, or toll free 1-888-9-TIGER-9. First up today is TP from Orlando. TP, how are you doing today?
I'm doing. Does it sound like there's a hurricane going on for you guys as well?
It sounds like you're. It sounds like you're calling us from a jet.
Yes. Okay. Hold on. All right. We'll hear from TP here in just a second.
Sounded like he was flying.
Yeah. It did a little bit. All right, let's see if we've got him back on here. TP, you got us?
Does it still sound like there's a raging whirlwind?
It does a little bit. Yeah, I mean, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay, I hope it's not too bad. I know it sounds like I'm getting swept away like Dorothy. But my question, I'll be quick because I know this is terrible for listeners. But I'll try to mute myself in between. But congratulations on 31 years. Happy to be a part of that. Always a pleasure. And remember my time with SportsCall very fondly. My only question for you, Ryan, it's a fun question. I'll save my cow one for another day. If you had a blank check to give to a 5-star prospect, not a quarterback, and it comes with the same risk of bust and, not panning out or being, a great of all time, one of the greatest of all time, who would you pay to play for your roster if you could get any of the one of the top prospects in the class, not this year, just like in general, like a 5-star tackle, a 5-star edge rusher? Who would you pay the King's ransom to, and why? I'll listen in. Sorry about the connection issues, and War Eagle.
War Eagle TP, be safe in the hurricane. That's TP from Orlando.
Or on your jet.
So yeah, he not talking about an individual prospect there.
Right.
I bet
position.
I bet Jack would have an individual prospect in mind with the way our guys covering recruiting these days. But I would say positionally, I think that, if it was the NFL, I think it's an edge rusher, no doubt.
Yeah.
In college, I'm a little more tempted to look around at maybe a big tackle, like a left tackle or something. You can build the college offense around a running back more than you can in the pros, I believe. But I still think that that's not wise to do as your top prospect as I look through it. You love a good DB. I don't know. I think I still lean, even with college and pro, same answer. I think I still lean the edge rusher, like a dominant, like Myles Garrett type of player that's going to end up being a top 5 draft choice. That's I think the way I would go.
And yeah, if we're talking about paying just one individual player, that's kind of because I think as an individual that like an edge rusher. Or maybe even just a linebacker that can do that feels like we're a single individual. I do also though think offensive line, but I don't know that just one singular guy that you just pay a huge amount. You pay all the money for that one guy on the offensive. Well, you got to have a bunch of other dudes on the line too. And if you're paying all the money for one, the rest stink. Then it's like, okay, well, what are you doing? But I also think offensive line because I look at what Nick Saban did at Alabama, and that was by getting some of the best offensive linemen that they could get on that O-line. Kirby Smart did the same thing at Georgia, shored up that offensive line. And you kind of look at what Golish is trying to do now is shoring up the offensive and defensive lines. But again, if you're just talking about one individual, I don't know that you can do that on the offensive line. So yeah, an edge rusher or maybe like a linebacker. Yeah, that's where my money would go that side.
For me, it's hard, not to go edge rusher. As Ryan, you mentioning about, it's kind of the template in the pros. That's kind of what works. To try to lock up a franchise quarterback, a franchise defensive piece on the edge, and that's what's really worked for some of the top teams throughout the league. And I mean, you just see now the Rams go out and get Myles Garrett. They're just like, hey, here's all draft capital you need. Here's Jared Verse, who's been a very solid player on that defensive side. We want to win now. Give us Myles Garrett. So, it's hard not to always going after an edge rusher at that position because they can be so impactful to the game and just really take over a game. Because, I mean, obviously the clip of, Clowney against Michigan, that one clip where he just drills the guy and gets the fumble. But yeah, edge rusher for me. I think I might throw in a just because at college level for me. I know you all left tackle. I do agree with that. Kind of go out the line, but I kind of want to throw out running back. I think a running back because still in college, running back position still has value where you can control a game with a really really solid running back. I mean, look at Boise State with Ashton Jeanty, what they were able to do. I mean, they got to the playoffs just pretty much off his performance that year. And so I feel like if you can get a solid guy at the running back position still in college, you can still control many games, especially the time possession.
Way more feasible in college, because I would not be doing it in the NFL.
Yeah.
But in college, when I have less skilled quarterback play, and I look, to be fair, that means there's a bigger variance. But I can build a college offense around running the football. I think, and being able to out physical somebody. And if I have the workhorse running back, that can be accomplished. Now, again, you get into what system you're going to use and how, backups and all that. But a stud running back can still be a game changer. The one position I'm not really considering is wide receiver.
Yeah.
Because I feel now there's great ones. Like, would I love to have Jeremiah Smith? Well, duh.
Yeah.
But
I love to still have Cam Coleman.
Right.
Here.
Sure. Absolutely. But I feel that if you have good coaching, you can scheme that much better than just having someone just out talent people. Like I feel like that was kind of Hugh Freeze's plan. Wide receivers are just going to out talent people. Well, so I think though that when you have a great pairing, a great talented receiver and a great quarterback or a great play caller, that's when the receiver can really shine. And there's just so many good ones. I don't want to say that it completely saturates the market, but it does make it where, oh yeah, I'll find someone good. There's not as wide of a gap, in my opinion, from like the first receiver to the 30th best receiver, as there could be from first quarterback to 30th quarterback, or even first best edge rusher to 30th. So that's my thing where I kind of land there. And what's also interesting in this now more pass heavy game, none of us said DB. And I think it's because when you have a great defensive lineman, a great edge rusher, they still influence both. Mm-hmm. It's really hard for a corner to influence the run game. Maybe a safety can, but then they're hit or miss on the passing game if they're playing too close to the line of scrimmage. And so I think that edge rusher is just so pivotal in just completely stopping a drive with a sack, with a strip sack, even getting a TFL on certain run plays to their side. And I think that's the way you got to go with that. I think it's a good question, TB.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. All right, let's take our first time out of the program. We got multiple more phone calls to take on our Sports Call phone line. You're listening or watching the Monday edition of Sports Call live on Tiger 95.9.
Want to call into the show? Send us your thoughts via email.
You've got mail.
SportsCall@thetiger.fm.
Weather brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union. Tiger Rewards checking at Auburn University Credit Union gives you the tools to manage your credit, monitor for fraud, telehealth services, loan discounts, and more. Visit myaucu.org for more details. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
First full week of August is underway, and we will see a pretty similar weather pattern for most of this week. High temperatures today will be in the upper 80s. We'll see about a quarter of the area subjected to a scattered shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon hours. Lows will be around 70 overnight. Tomorrow, very similar. Highs in the upper 80s, maybe 90 in a few places. About 20% will see another round of isolated showers and thunderstorms, and lows dropping into the low 70s. I'm Ryan Lavoie for your Tiger Communications weather update.
From the very beginning in 1907, Auburn Bank's mission has been to promote our community, see businesses flourish, and improve the livelihoods of local citizens. We have operated a simple and straightforward business model built on a foundation of sound business decisions and a caring response. Our local team stands ready to discuss your financial needs and goals. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC. Online at auburnbank.com.
It's heating up at Sons Ford in Auburn with the hottest sale of the year. Now's the time to save big on a huge selection of new Ford trucks, SUVs, and cars. Whether you're looking for a rugged F-150, a family-friendly Explorer, or a fuel-efficient Escape, you'll find incredible deals waiting for you. Don't let these summer savings pass you by. Visit Sons Ford in Auburn today or shop online at sonsford.com and pick the Ford you've been wanting at a price you'll love. Sons Ford in Auburn, where the hottest deals of the year are happening now.
Every day, we power homes and businesses in our communities, but we also power something else, bright futures for our youth. We visit classrooms to speak on topics ranging from career opportunities to leadership skills, and we help make college possible by providing scholarships to deserving students. Bright futures are ahead, and we help make it happen. Brought to you by Tallapoosa River Electric Cooperative.
TK's Convenience Stores, your gotta-have headquarters. You know, those things you just gotta have, but don't have time to waste in one of those huge pack stores. Nope, at TK's, we have your gotta-have items with no hassle, along with great customer service, high-quality items, and clean stores. So whether you need a six-pack of your favorite beverage, milk, gasoline, or some cash from the ATM, TK's has it just minutes from you. TK's Convenience Stores, now with 17 locations to better serve you. Always there when you need us.
Looking for the perfect lunch or dinner? Make it easy and delicious with Honey Baked Ham. Enjoy savory crafted sandwiches like the Ham Classic, Barbecue Smoked Stacker, or the Tavern Club, as well as a variety of fresh, crisp, delicious salads. Every bite is a taste of quality at Honey Baked Ham Company. Whether it's a leisurely lunch or something quick for dinner, Honey Baked Ham has you covered. Stop by the Honey Baked Ham Company and get your ham on. Honey Baked Ham, located at 1451 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Ham bone, ham bone, ham bone.
Follow SportsCall on Twitter at SportsCallAU. Like us on Facebook at SportsCallAU.
Welcome back. This is the Monday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, the Tiger Communications app. Ryan, Jack, and Tom with you here this afternoon. And a big thanks to Jared Dillard, who is running the production of our operation of making it go live on YouTube and Facebook. So, again, we, of course, appreciate all of our audiences, whether it be on Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, the Tiger Communications app, the Sports Call podcast, or now on YouTube and on Facebook. And we should have more exciting news with that in the coming weeks. All right, let's head back to the Sports Call phone line now, 334-887-3401 locally, or toll-free 1-888-9 Tiger 9. Next up, it is Matt from Casita, Matt for Auburn. Matt, how are you doing today?
How you guys doing?
Doing well.
What's up, Tom?
Hey, buddy. What's up?
What's up, Jake?
Hey, Matt, how are you?
Fine. Well, it's hard to hear you guys. I guess my radio.
Yeah, we're kind of having some issues back on your end too. We're kind of hearing that same background stuff we heard with TP.
Well, you try to call you guys back?
Well, it didn't work with TP, so I don't know if it's going to help, but you can try.
Okay, I'll try to call back.
All right. Yeah, we'll try to get Matt reconnected here in a second. I don't know. It could be our weekend could have been destructive here. I don't know. All right, let's see if we can get Matt back on. Matt, is this any better?
A little bit.
Sounds very similar to us. Yeah.
Well, hey, I want to talk about. You think the Giants could probably make the Super Bowl? I'm not a big Giants fan.
I don't think the Giants will make the Super Bowl. I do not. They've got a lot of building to do. I know they got John Harbaugh in there now, and I think they'll be better. I don't think they'll be a doormat, but I don't think they're going to go from worst to first.
I'm not a big Giants fan, but Tom, I got a question for you.
All right, what's up?
Do you know, me and Randall, you know how many people are going to play in our game? Do you know yet?
I do not. I don't know that. I don't have that info. So yeah, no, not sure.
Okay, guys, we need to know how many are playing.
Gotcha. Yeah. You talking about just from the radio show?
For September the 5th.
Right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I know I'm not going to be able to play. I don't know about these guys.
Is Brooks or JJ going to play?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, are you going to be able to come to watch us play?
I will be, watching the Baylor game, so I will not be able to.
Okay. All right. Well, Tom, if you can find out how many we were playing, get with Randall.
All right, we'll do it.
All right, Warrior guys.
Where you go, Matt? We appreciate that. Sorry about the phone line issues that we're having. Again, we're able to make out what people are saying, but it's not
very clear.
Not clear, and it sounds like everyone's in a tropical system. And to my knowledge, looking around, there is not a tropical system. No. So, we'll have to work on that. We will go ahead and get James from Montgomery on here for a couple of minutes. James, how are you doing today?
I'm good in War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Yeah.
Did you all see what they were going to do here in Tuscaloosa with Kellen DeBoer? They were actually going to put a statue of him. Do you all think that's a really good idea for the University of Alabama to do something like that?
Yeah, I think you probably saw something that was posted to be funny or disingenuous. They're not trying to make a statue of Kalen DeBoer. He has a lot of work to do, and they're not trying to do that.
Yeah, because if it's going to be something like that, when they were actually talking about putting a statue of a new coach that has never won championships or anything of that nature. I mean, look at Paul Bear Bryant. He's won national championships, and Nick Saban has only won like 2 or 3 championships under his belt. But when you're talking about a new head coach that's coming into a program like Alabama, I think that's the wrong idea to actually make in that sense as well for me.
Yeah, Saban won more than that too. But yeah, no, they're not planning a statue for DeBoer. He's got a lot of winning to do before that. What else is on your mind today?
Well, I'm actually covering the Hall of Fame ceremony on Friday because I know they're going to be doing a big game this coming up weekend. And I'm just going to see how things are going to look when the NFL football season starts in September. I know it's going to look a little different with rule changes and everything, and with training camp that I'm actually looking forward to, and seeing what Cowboys are actually going to do for the upcoming season. I think this is going to be something that NFL football fans would actually like to see as well.
Yeah, everyone's ready for the season to start for sure. Only a few little tweaks to the rules. Nothing I think that will be too noticeable, too different. But yeah, I got the Hall of Fame game coming up Thursday. Really looking forward to the season getting going.
Yeah, I might as well have to call y'all back in like the 4 o'clock hour because I can't hardly hear you all.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to be able to get this fixed today or not, James. You can try us a little bit later, but we'll have to work on the phone lines.
All right, sounds good. And War Eagle.
War Eagle. That is James from Montgomery joining us on the Sports Call phone line. And we apologize for the phone issues. These were, not on our radar until we started talking on the phone to everyone today. So we don't know quite what's going on here in the studio. So I'm going to try to figure it out and work on it. We got plenty of content for you today, but again, apologize to those trying to get these phone
welcome
calls
to
in.
live radio / streaming. So.
Yeah. Well, it's preseason for that too. I know we never stop per se throughout the year, but at the same time, we've got a month until we get going with all of the big stuff college football wise. And apparently the phone line is needing a bit of a tune-up also. So let's go ahead and go to our next timeout. And what our next return is going to give you the phone line number. But you're listening to the Monday edition of Sports Call live on Tiger 95.9.
The Sports Call crew wants to hear from you. Give us a phone call at 334-887-3401.
Looking for great deals while supporting a great cause? Visit Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, conveniently located on East University behind Zaxby's. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 5 with a huge selection of furniture, clothing for the whole family, books, home decor, and so much more. Have items to donate? We'll gladly accept donations at the back of the store from 10 until 4. Shop, donate, and make a difference at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, where every purchase helps change lives.
You remember the burgers, you remember the buns, you even remember the ice, but you forgot the beer? Rookie mistake. Save the cookout by showing up with Blue Moon Belgian White. Its crisp, refreshing taste with Valencia orange peel and that iconic orange garnish turns an oops into an awesome. Because when the beer's this good, people tend to forget what you forgot in the first place. Blue Moon Belgian White, made brighter. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hello friends, Tay Gibbs here at Fairway Auto Brokers. Hot days and hotter deals. Fairway Auto Brokers is turning up the heat this summer with 2 locations, one in Auburn and one in Opelika. Finding your next vehicle is easier than ever. Choose from our massive selection of over 125 vehicles in stock right now. Beat the heat and score an amazing deal today. Shop our inventory online at fairwayautobrokers.com.
My caretaker was very rough with me. I thought they did it because I wasn't moving fast enough.
Elder abuse is a crime, and together we can stop it. If you or someone you know has been abused, neglected, or exploited, call the Adult Abuse Hotline at 1-800-458-7214. That's 1-800-458-7214. Sponsored by the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the Department of Justice, ADECA grant number 18 VA VS 050, the ABA, and this station.
I'm Trevon Reed, former Auburn Tiger football player and national champion. You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Welcome back. This is the Monday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, Tiger Communications app, and streaming on YouTube and Facebook. Ryan Lavoie, Tom Peavy, and Jack Myrick. Again, we apologize for the phone issues. We were not aware of them until TP's phone call at approximately 3:15, and we're going to have to get someone in here to look at it. So unsure if we're going to be able to take clear and coherent phone calls by the end of today's show or not. Bear with us. And again, we do apologize for that. And again, if you want to blame the streaming equipment, I wouldn't go there either because we streamed fine on Friday. Yeah. So really do not know exactly what is going on there, but we'll take a look at it during these breaks and have someone come in here, and we will announce if we're able to get back to clear calls here by the end of the program. But again, appreciate everyone's patience on that. We're also having issues with our hotkeys, which is why you heard some static there. So therefore, when we're going to go ahead and get to today's Waldo's Chicken and Beer Birthdays and Sports, but not have Zeus introduce that for us. All right, so on the birthdays and sports today, we've got Quan Alexander, who is 32, a high-energy linebacker who made his mark across multiple NFL franchises. 4th-round draft choice in the 2015 NFL Draft by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers out of LSU.
Go Tigers.
Alexander quickly established himself as a dynamic playmaker. In 2017, he earned a Pro Bowl selection after leading the league in solo tackles the prior season. Throughout his career, he also suited up for the San Francisco 49ers and New Orleans Saints, New York Jets, and Pittsburgh Steelers. Known for aggressive tackling and sideline-to-sideline speed and fire leadership on defense, he remained a resilient and influential force on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, straight out of Oxford High School in Oxford, Alabama.
Go Yellow Jackets.
There you go. Go Yellow Jackets. LSU, go Tigers. LSU, Oxford, Alabama Yellow Jackets. So, yeah. Happy birthday, Quan Alexander. I feel like I need to hum the birthday song, Lord.
Yeah. No, we got to do what we can. Got to do what we can. So Quan Alexander's 32. Also turning 32, Todd Gurley, one of the most dominant versatile running backs in the NFL during his peak. Selected 10th overall by the then St. Louis Rams in the 2015 NFL Draft out of Georgia.
Woof, woof.
Gurley made an immediate impact, earning NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year honors. He was a 3-time Pro Bowler and 2-time first-team All-Pro. Reached his pinnacle in 2017 when he was named NFL Offensive Player of the Year. After leading the league in scrimmage yards and touchdowns, he followed up by helping lead the Rams to a Super Bowl appearance in 2018, Over 6 seasons with the Rams and Falcons, he amassed 67 rushing touchdowns before persistent knee injuries ended his career prematurely.
Oh, from Tarboro, North Carolina. Tarboro High School, go Vikings.
Todd Gurley, 32 today. Tom Brady is 49, widely considered one of the great quarterbacks of NFL history, drafted 199 overall by the New England Patriots in the 2000 draft. He spent 20 seasons with New England, leading the franchise to 9 Super Bowl appearances and 6 championship titles. Known for his clutch performances, extraordinary leadership, and precision passing, he earned 3 NFL MVP awards during his tenure with the Pats. In 2020, he joined the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, immediately guiding the team to a victory in the Super Bowl, capturing his 7th and final championship ring. Over his legendary 23-season career, he set all-time NFL records for passing yards, passing touchdowns, and total victories, cementing his legacy as football's ultimate winner before retiring in 2023.
There you go. Played college at Michigan, go Wolverines, but high school, Junipero Serra High School in San Mateo, California, go Padres.
I don't think I will ever have a better in-person viewing experience for football than watching Tom Brady play quarterback in the 2021 season. That's just not going to happen. 40-some touchdowns that year,
right.
5,000 passing yards. The interceptions he threw were because running backs would put their hands up and it'd bounce off their hands straight up into the air. It's just not going to happen.
You got to watch incredible. The GOAT play for your team.
Yeah, it was and you know what? After 20 years of not making the playoffs, we earned that 3-year run. And now we're bickering with our current quarterback about contracts of the movie. Yeah. So it's going great. Totally did not blow a huge division lead at the halfway point of last year. Bucks and Colts hanging out. Where's Jared Dillard? Yeah. With great first halves of the season to blow apart in the second half. Anyway, Tom Brady's 49 today. And Tyrod Taylor is 37, a versatile dual-threat quarterback known for his athleticism, ball security, and veteran leadership. Selected in the 6th round of the 2011 NFL Draft by the Baltimore Ravens out of Virginia Tech.
Gobble, gobble, hokey pokey.
Earned a Super Bowl ring as a backup before getting his breakout opportunity with the Buffalo Bills in 2015. During his 3 seasons as Buffalo's starter, he was named to a Pro Bowl in 2015 and led the franchise to its first playoff appearance in nearly 2 decades in 2017. A resilient and dependable presence across his career, Taylor went on to start and provide invaluable veteran depth for several teams, including the Cleveland Browns, Los Angeles Chargers, Houston Texans, New York Giants, and New York Jets.
He went to Hampton High School in Hampton, Virginia. Go Crabbers.
Whoa.
That's a different one.
That's definitely a different one.
Old Crabbers.
So Tyrod Taylor, 37 today. Those are the Waldo's Chicken and Beer birthdays in sports. Tyrod Taylor's 37. Tom Brady's 49. And Todd Gurley and Quan Alexander are 32. We have an all football list for a football month upcoming.
I need to check out that Hampton. For some reason, I'm thinking Michael Vick also was a Crabber, maybe.
Okay.
I'll look that up.
There's also a Hokie. We know that.
Yeah, which would be crazy. I know. I mean, Michael Vick's from that area. He's from the Newport News, Hampton, Norfolk area up there. So I have to check that out.
Yeah, maybe so. So those are, again, your Waldo's Chicken and Beer birthdays in sports. And, you know, I was actually a big Tyrod guy at the time, too.
Right.
I'm not ashamed to say, like, I thought Rex Ryan and Tyrod were a little bit underrated for their stuff in Buffalo. Now they moved on to Josh Allen and were proven right in the end, but I thought that they were doing a pretty quality job of trying to raise a franchise that also, again, had been having a lot of horror stories after having ultimate horror stories in the 90s of success and then epic failures at the end of their season. So who knows if Buffalo will ever get over the mountaintop.
Yeah, I always enjoyed watching him play, but I'll say this: I do not want to see him play this year just because who he is the backup for. But yeah, I did. Yeah, him in Buffalo was definitely underrated. He had some really fun seasons, and I always liked to. He was one of the quarterbacks. If I was doing a rebuild, I would try to trade for in Madden just to rebuild with.
One other sidebar before we get going here again, the Pro Bowlers, 2010. Still safe to say it meant something, but we keep going down the road of so many guys, even though it's not even a game, they don't even accept the invite. They still want to put at least 3 quarterbacks, 3 of certain positions, etc. there. So we go way down the list now and inviting people to Pro Bowls. And this doesn't sound like a big deal. Like I'm not talking about the event itself. I don't really care who is there, quite frankly. It could be Will Levis, since he thinks he's great all of a sudden. I don't know if you saw that headline the other day that he said he's an NFL starting quarterback. Well, not what we've seen, but I digress. The point is, Pro Bowls was a measurable thing to tell me how great or good someone was. It's the all-star equivalent. Like, it doesn't tell me everything, but like if I have a 9-time all-star in the NBA versus a 2-time all-star, that tells me there's a different tier there. A similar thing in baseball, though the fan voting is so crazy sometimes. But NFL, it's like if I have someone that's 11-time Pro Bowl or 8-time Pro Bowl or whatever, I know that guy for half or more than half of his career was one of the best at his position. But if we're going to put players that could be barely even starters, and I hate to single them out. It seems like I'm going to single them out, but it's just the obvious example. Like when Shedeur Sanders goes to the Pro Bowl for having 7 TDs to 10 picks and a 56% completion percentage, someone's going to look back on that and say, well, why didn't Shedeur Sanders become the franchise quarterback? He was a Pro Bowler as a rookie. Well, because he was not in any way an all-star as a rookie. He was the guy that accepted the invitation after 8 other people said no or couldn't do it. So I think that's regrettable. There needs to be like an all-star team, and then whoever wants to go participate in the Pro Bowl games can be something different. But the Pro Bowlers, or who we identify as all-stars, do not need to be just the people that actually show up there.
Right. There you go. By the way, Michael Vick went to Warwick High School up there in Newport News. Ronald Curry, who played for your UNC Tar Heels, also he went to Hampton, though. He was a crabber.
Okay. There you go. A bunch of crabbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl is just not what it used to be. So I think you just now, if you're gonna look at any kind of statistics now, back looking at the NFL, it's just you guys stick to the All Pro. That's the only thing that you can really look at.
And then there's so few of them, right? Because
Yeah.
it's only 2 teams, right?
Mhm.
And so it's like, man, that means I can't have more. Like let's just say it's Mahomes and Allen, then I can't have Stafford after last year, or I guess wouldn't have been Mahomes last year.
Last year was May and Stafford.
So I couldn't have Allen or Herbert or whoever, like that, or Love, like anybody, like that. That's my thing, is like when you have 3 aside, I'm giving the best 6 out of 32. That's fair to me. That's a little less than 20% of the league, and that's how the other sports operate. Right. All Pro is like the other level. It's like, okay, this guy's a 9-time All-Star. This guy's a 7-time All-Star, but let me see. Oh, the 7-time All-Star was 5-time AP All-Pro. The other guy was only twice. Like,
because now when you look at them, there will be, hey, like he's a 2-3-time Pro Bowler and then not a single All-Pro.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes guys will just get on the list because of, I think there's such a huge fan vote still that plays a part in that. And then, as you mentioned, players decline. There's injuries.
Yeah.
It's just. That's happened because it goes all the way back to Tyler Huntley when that took place. I think 2020 or so, 2021.
Yeah.
And it's kind of just spiraled since then, because then they've gone to the flag football format, made it kind of like where you feel like you're almost watching a wipeout, honestly, during because they're doing all these weird activities and they're playing against each other, which can be fun. It's fun, especially for short form content on social media, seeing all that stuff. But it's just not what it used to be, which is fair. It's a very physical game. You don't want to add another game to the schedule, but it's just something that I think a lot of NFL fans will miss, is that prime 2000s Pro Bowl.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I don't have a problem with what they're doing with the events, or who's saying I don't want to play in them, or who they bring to them. But if they're going to bring guys that are even borderline starters, we need to find a different way to categorize certain things, or we have to stop categorizing that as meaning something, because it really doesn't. If I'm getting a borderline starter, and that would go for any sport, like the basketball example, like, I'll single out somebody that we are familiar with. Like if Isaac Okoro was going to the NBA All-Star game, I love me some Isaac Okoro. He's a heck of a defender. I'm so glad he's in the league. I hope he stays in the league another 10 years. There's no part of Isaac Okoro that's an all-star. So, like that's my thing. And then if you see in the past Isaac Okoro 1-time all-star, you're like, oh, he had a heck of a year. And then you look at it, it's like, 11 points a game. You know, and I feel like that's with Snoop Huntley and Shador Sanders. Like, Snoop Huntley did a admirable job for a backup, you know, taking over for Lamar Jackson. That did not, have you noticed, he has not become a star in the National Football League, and that's fair. So anyway, that's a bit of a thing that I've started to latch on to more. That's annoying me. And needless to say, or let me say this though, Tyrod Taylor probably deserved it back then. Tyrod did a good job, but he only made it once. All right, so got a few minutes left here in the hour. Again, we apologize for the phone line struggling. Going to try to do some work on it here sooner rather than later. Cannot promise a return to normal operation time when it comes to that, though. So let's talk briefly. We can talk about a little bit more in the 4 o'clock hour, too. But again, fall practice starting in 2 days for Auburn. Going to have the coordinators plus out Scolish tomorrow around late morning, and we'll probably air some of that audio for you, if not tomorrow, later in the week. A month away. This is typical timing. What are you trying to find out, if anything, about the team in the fall? I know that sometimes there are big picture things that just can't be seen, but is there a position group? Is there a player? Is there a concept that you're looking for here in the fall?
No, because my thing with fall, it's more of what I don't want to hear than what I want to hear, if that makes sense. There's not really anything concept wise that I'm just like, I'm really anxious to hear this, because they're not going to really tell you a lot. They're going to tell you just enough of, you know, what you need to hear, but it's what you don't want to hear. Obviously, injury is a thing. You never want to hear that, but what you don't want to hear is so and so showed up way out of shape. So and so didn't show up. So and so is way behind from where we needed them to be. Those are the things that you don't want to hear when camp starts. You're not going to get a whole lot of, you know, yeah, we were running this scheme, and this scheme, and this was working, this wasn't working, but we're going to work. You're not going to get that from the coaches. So you can get a taste of kind of what's going on there. For the most part, they're going to really kind of sunshine pump what's going on, unless you just have a bad day and you have a coach that comes out and you're just like, nope, we sucked today. That was awful. The worst practice I've ever been a part of in my life. Maybe you get one of those. That wouldn't be good either. But yeah, for me, it's more of what I don't want to hear. You don't want to hear any drama. It just start camp, get out there, get to work. You know, I would much prefer to hear the sunshine pumping. They're working hard. You know, it was hot. We kept them hydrated. Rah, let's
no
move
cramping,
on.
So we were good.
You know, rah, let's move on to the next day. That's ideal.
I mean, when you mentioned about, you know, being in shape, being healthy, I'd like to see Bryson Washington kind of work his way up, because that's been a conversation that Alex Golish has had, talking about a guy that was, you know, looking to be running back number 2 going into this year, might fall back in the depth chart if, you know, they don't feel confident where he's at going into the season. He was, you know, 700-yard plus rusher last year, was really physical runner for Baylor. And, you know, you'd love to have him in a game like Baylor, because a lot of times players, you know, they play their old team. They have a lot of momentum that like they can build off, and a lot of, you know, just a goal they have set to, like, hey, I want to prove this against my old team. But also, I mean, he's a guy that looked like he could be, you know, a starting running back in the SEC. If, you know, just because, I mean, he's a sophomore or so, but still, like, if you can just get this guy right before the season starts, I think that is a good thing to see. Just have another guy in that running back room, because it's already pretty loaded. You get Omar Maps and kind of Davenport. Obviously, Alvin Henderson's kind of been forgotten, but he's in that running back room. Still could be, you know, figured out there. And then Tay Meadows, senior from Troy. So a lot of options there back there. But obviously, Bryson Washington, a big transfer you get from Baylor. You'd like to see him ready to go for the season. I was going to say, if I want to talk about like one position that I'm kind of curious about, I guess it would be the QB2 spot. I'd like to hear some good things there. I think everybody assumes that Tia is going to be the guy, because that's what you heard most of in the spring. But I want to hear that's good, because I mean, especially as much as Byron Brown is going to be, we think that he's going to run.
there's always that chance of something happening. And I mean, goodness gracious, you just hope it's not, that. But make sure that you're at least comfortable with somebody who's going to come in there and spell him if you have to go that route.
Do you have an improper built football team or a properly built football team if you say the sentence, if our quarterback goes down, it's over? Because I feel like most teams that is true for them.
Sure.
And what does that say anything about you, or is that just how it is? Can you avoid that at all?
I honestly, I think that's just how it is. I think it's very rare that you can go into your backup and not miss a beat. Ohio State did that a few years ago, won a national title with their third string quarterback. But I mean, that's just a unicorn.
I think it's just a college thing. It's because going back to comparing college pros, but professional, no, you have no, if you lose your starting guy, college, I feel like you have a better chance. It can still manage because, they're sometimes you can just manage their system. You rely on the running backs. You can rely on other pieces of that team to kind of function. Obviously, last year's example of this, but it's just more the extreme of what can work out for the best is obviously Ole Miss. Gets down Trinidad Chambliss. It turns out to be a complete stud. Looks to be the best in the league. But still, you have plenty of I think examples of that. You can look around where teams that have been just a total just powerhouse unit. They have so many pieces they can just rely on. All they have to do is pretty much need a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over. Whereas then you'll sometimes have programs, I think Vanderbilt would be the other side of it, where if you lose Diego Pavia, sure, the team's decent. It's got some guys on that roster, but they're not going to be the same kind of motor going forward. They're going to kind of slow down. They're going to lose that momentum.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, in today's transfer portal world, if you're a top tier quarterback sitting at second string, you may not stay there for very long. And so, but they may be on a roster, it does happen. Alabama's in a good spot right now because they've got two different guys that they could turn to. And so one of them is going to be the starter. One's going to be a backup. Auburn has run into it where their backup was pretty decent. But yeah, it definitely happens more in college than you see in the pros, but I don't think it says that you've mismanaged your roster or managed right. I think it's just kind of the way it is. Sometimes you have that backup that's really good, that is the future of your program. He just happens to not win the job this year, but then all of a sudden you have to turn to him. You're like, okay, well, here we go. So
food for thought.
Tia may be good. I mean, he looked good in spring, so we'll see.
That does it for hour number one of Sports Call here. Coming up in the next couple of hours, we'll do a little bit more for Auburn fall practice. Again, a couple days out from their first fall practice. Also, going to look at the MLB trading deadline. It has been busy. There was another trade just made, Braves trading someone away. Now 4 trades involving the Bravos. We'll talk about that and the rest of Major League Baseball. We'll go over Kentucky football as it's their day to be previewed on the show, and we'll have a best and worst of the weekend. This is the Monday edition of Sports Call, live on Tiger 95.9.
One hour of our show is in the books. We've got more to come. Stay tuned for another hour of Sports Call right after the break.
Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory is here for you when you need us. With locations in Lee, Chambers, and Tallapoosa counties, serving the people of East Alabama and West Georgia since 1900. A family-owned and operated business, skip the hassle of the big corporate mortuaries. Our kind, compassionate team members are standing by to assist your family in the hardest of times. An on-site crematory, private cemetery, and a choice of facilities makes Frederick Dean unique. Visit us at frederickdean.com.
Hey Auburn, why stress about dinner tonight? Just cruise down South College Street and roll through the drive-thru at Waldo's Chicken and Beer. Grab the Feed the Flock meal. Yeah, we're talking 12 crispy tenders, warm cheesy biscuits, fresh coleslaw, and not one, but 2 delicious sides. Mac and cheese, collards, wedges, you pick your groove. And don't forget, 6 sauces to mix, match, and dunk your way to flavor heaven. Skip the cooking, feed the whole crew, and keep your night smooth. Waldo's Chicken and Beer, South College Street in Auburn. Drive through and dig in. Southern Union State Community College is now providing English language classes at no charge to students. Courses are designed for anyone who wants to improve their English for ongoing study, citizenship tests, to improve job prospects, or just learn something new. Day and night classes are available in Auburn and Opelika. All levels of English are welcome and any student can join at any time. Students can sign up anytime on Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 301 Lake Condi Road in Opelika, or can contact the program by phone at 334-749-8480 or email ivenz@suscc.edu.
Whether it's enjoying a night in with good friends and close family or having some fun in the great outdoors, don't forget to grab an ice-cold Coca-Cola from one of your 17 local TK's convenience stores. Every sip of an ice-cold, refreshing Coke helps make whatever you're doing memorable. With a variety of options to choose from, TK's has a Coke for every occasion. So stop by any one of your local 17 TK's convenience stores today and pick up an ice-cold Coca-Cola. TK's convenience stores, always there when you need us.
Looking for a new fitness home? Look no further than Tiger Iron Gym in Auburn. Our fitness area spans over 20,000 square feet, providing ample space for all your workout needs. Featuring an AstroTurf training area, an extensive range of cardio equipment that will get your heart pumping, and we are one of the largest 24-hour free weight gyms in America. Worried about parking? Don't. We have you covered with tons of parking spaces so you can focus on your workout. And we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to fit your busy schedule. Plus, we're locally owned and operated, not some big corporate gym. And you can experience all of this for just $29.99 a month with no contract. Join us today and take charge of your fitness goals. Tiger Iron Gym, South College Street in Auburn.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefit.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9 FM, WTGZ Tuskegee, Auburn.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves sweep the Nats. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Tidal Wave Auto Spa is the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and your go-to car wash destination all season long. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com to find a location nearest you.
4-game series with the Nats, 4 wins against the Nats. Braves topped the Washington Nationals 4-2 in Game 4 of the set. Braves now 22 games over 500 after what was a very fun weekend in and around Truist Park. J.R. Ritchie went for the Braves. He went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 4. But how about Mike Yastrzemski? Solo home run for Yaz in the 3rd. He also had a sac fly in the 7th. Trading deadline day coming your way tonight. We'll see if the Braves have any new faces for this next series against the Miami Marlins. Chris Sale will get the ball in Game 1 against the Marlins. He's 12-6, has a 2.08 ERA, 26 walks, and 143 strikeouts. And, of course, Tuesday will mark the first game for newly acquired outfielder Lane Thomas. For leadoff show coming your way at 6, and the first pitch between the Braves and the Marlins is 7:15. You can hear all of it on the Atlanta Braves Radio Network.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9 FM, WTGZ Tuskegee, Auburn. Since 1995, Alabama's sports talk leader, Tiger Communications, proudly presents Sports Call. It's time to join our Sports Call crew as they discuss the latest headlines and happenings around Auburn and the entire sports world. To be part of the show, give us a call at 334-887-3401 locally or toll free at 1-888-9-TIGER-9. We're taking phone calls all show long and want to talk about whatever you've got on your mind. And now, coming to you live from the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show, Sports Call.
Second hour of Sports Call beginning right now. Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Brian Lavoie, Tom Peavy, Jack Myrick with you here this afternoon. Also got Jared Dillard running the stream for us here. Again, if you have not heard, we are streaming now, YouTube and Facebook. You can see our smiling faces live on YouTube and Facebook. Sports Call Auburn is the place to go for those things. Of course, we've got all the traditional ways to listen. Again, we apologize. We don't know what's going on with the phone system. Maybe we heard that it's actually not as bad on the stream. But again, we were certainly having feedback issues, and so were the callers. So something going on there. We've not been able to diagnose it yet. We're going to get a couple of people in the studio here at some point this hour, take a look at it, and see if we can figure it out. But again, obviously those were a little bit less pleasant than normal, and we do apologize for that. So we'll keep it rolling here. Again, a little bit later this hour, we'll get to our preview of Kentucky, or begin our preview of Kentucky, voted to finish 14th in the Southeastern Conference. Again, we started the series last week with Arkansas on Thursday and Mississippi State on Friday. So if you missed that, go check it out on the Sports Call podcast presented by Coca-Cola. Let's finish some thoughts, though, on Auburn, and then we'll get to MLB trading deadline here in a little bit. Again, I would say, to answer what I'm looking for this fall is there's one thing I'm looking for, one thing I'm hoping does not happen. The thing I'm looking for is goodwill towards the offensive line. Not that that's going to prove anything. Again, we always say this in sort of a bubble to a way. There's nothing they can do to go out there and be factually dominant coming into the season. You know, they may end up being that way, but until we see it in action, I want them to know their five, feel good about their five, know, oh, this guy could still end up playing this position. Like, again, that's good fodder for the off season. It's good to have versatility, but when I'm going to sound like my 8th grade English teacher, when the rubber meets the road, you need to be able to know you've got 5 guys you rely on in 5 positions that they can excel in. And so, this offensive line has been subpar for years, quite frankly, and it's time that they have a good show thing. So Auburn's got to figure out their 5, and hopefully they can find some confidence in those guys. The other thing, the thing I don't want to hear as much about, I do not want the Byron Brown throwing motion to be a big deal again. Yeah. Everyone's already seen it. You know what it looks like, and there's nothing that's going to happen in fall practice unless he has completely reshaped his form, which he has not, that is going to make you say anything of significance. Okay, the form is the form. We're not asking him to go be the next Andrew Luck prospect. We're asking him to find Keyshawn Singleton down the field. We're asking him to find Chaz Nimrod down the field. We're asking him to get the bubble screen out quickly to Bryce Kane or to whoever is going to take bubble screens, Jeremiah Coger, whatever. Okay, we're not asking to go throw these unbelievably accurate spiraling balls that would make Aaron Rodgers on a back shoulder throw smile. Okay, we're not talking about that. So I don't want that to be a big storyline. Everyone's now seen it. Everyone now has an opinion, and the opinions can be whatever, but let's see how it looks on a football field in Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Saturday, September the 5th at approximately 3:00. And so that's my thing. I don't want that to have to be answering to for the next 4 to 5 weeks. So comments, questions? Concerns?
Oh no. Yeah, I definitely agree with the offensive line thing. I think the throwing motion has been put to bed. I think. I mean, Alex Golesh has seemingly put that to bed. Byram has put that to bed. Goodness gracious, how many folks that we had on the show with us during media days that also put it back. Cole Kubelik just squashed it.
Yeah.
And basically he said, if you think that that's an issue, you're stupid. I mean, and so I still, there's some things with that concern me, but it's mostly balls getting batted down at the line of scrimmage. That type of thing is what concerns me with it. Hopefully that's not an issue. Maybe not. But, either way, I think that's kind of been squashed. I don't think it's going to be an issue until it becomes an issue. And then we'll see. But definitely offensive line. Want to hear some good stuff from the offensive line. I want to hear good. I want to hear good stuff about everything. Obviously, I mean that's just kind of that goes without being said. But like I said, my main thing is what the things that you don't want to hear. That's
injuries and
injury. Yeah, like I said, the injuries you don't want to hear. That's awful. Out of shape, no shows. Somebody just not getting it done. Somebody that's just those are the things.
And that's why, Jack, you mentioned Bryson Washington, and I concur because I have real hopes for the kid. Like that's not just some dude. He was a 1,000-yard rusher 2 years ago at Baylor, still 700 or 800 last year.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a good quality running back. The system that they ran at Baylor, similar. I mean, more of a passing spread than the run spread that I think Alex Golesh will employ. But the point is that the kid had 2 really quality years in the Big 12, and I'm not saying he's the number 1 back. He's not. Jeremiah Cobb is, but if I have a number 2 back that's capable of being a 1,000-yard rusher in a Power 4 conference, well, darn, I sure like to use him at some point. And again, that's with all the talent that you mentioned in that running back room. So I want to hear by the 3rd week of August that he's in shape and they feel better about him. And then again, I look to, gosh, in the NFL right now, they've been training camp for a week tops, and ACLs are blowing left and right, and it's awful. I mean, I think I can think of 10 guys already that have torn an ACL or MCL and are out at least half the year or out the whole year. And so, you'll have a hamstring, someone will have a quad, something's going to happen there. But please no ligament damages, nothing that's going to disturb the availability of the season.
Nothing major.
Yeah, again, that is not usually as common in the college game. You can count on one hand the big names that end up having preseason injuries like that. But, you're right about that. That's always going to be a concern and a key for your fall practicing.
Yep. I don't need to hear that the players are having to take the steps instead of the elevator.
Going back to the Byron Brown throwing motion, to me, it's crazy that became such a thing, because it's like I would understand it if he was a true freshman quarterback, but we're talking about a senior quarterback who's been, this is entering his 5th year. He had redshirted and he had dealt with injuries, but he led the nation in total touchdowns last year, 42. And somehow it's a question that, he threw for over 3,000 yards last year, 30 touchdowns, nearly. And it's just like, oh, he's got a weird throwing motion.
Well, the reason it came up is because it's so wonky.
Yeah.
And that was the thing is, and I guess so many Auburn fans never watched South Florida play. And so when he comes in spring practice and we get the first view of our new quarterback, let's see what he looks like. And then the first thing you see is that, it is a loopy, long, wonky throwing motion. And everybody saw it. And I guess that was the first time for so many people have seen Byron Brown throw. And immediately, because I admit, I didn't watch a lot of South Florida football. So I did not realize the mechanics of him until I also saw that spring practice. And like the very first video I saw of him throwing, I was like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, I think, the feeling that everybody else had. And then it went viral from there because it
is wonky.
Yeah. It's not just right. It's not like a little hitch that it's like, that needs to be. No, it is a wonky throwing style.
But the debate And what matters is, does that matter?
Right.
Does it matter how you deliver it? And look, there's reasons why you do certain things, because more times than not, it is better to not to be doing that. Like, we all understand that. There's a reason you teach things a certain way.
Sure.
This, that, and the other thing. But there's always exceptions to the rule. And when those exceptions are producing in the way that Jack eliminated there, like, then whatever, it's like the coaches, like in middle school or even high school, that you have where you're doing something that's technically incorrect, but they're like, man, it's working for you, I'm not going to touch it. Like, that happens in golf sometimes. And Jack, didn't that happen in your tennis career too? Like,
I always like to say one of the best coaching things I've ever been told was that, I had a coaching change my junior year of high school, for private coaching, and I'd worked with the coach beforehand for a decade plus. And so this coach came on, and he was like, hey, you've been playing for long enough. You've gotten comfortable with the way you play. I'm not going to change any sort of, the way you hold the racket or anything else. We're just going to work on making what you have the best it can be. Like, we're going to use the tools you have and make it the best it can be. And I think that's one of the best coaching things. Now, sure, there is times that you have to make a change. Because, you see that with Josh Allen would be an example, that you saw his throwing motion change. Aaron Rodgers, as you mentioned about making like some crazy throws, back shoulder, made a change coming out of college to the pros. But it's worked for him at college. He's not in the pros yet. So if he wants to maybe get to the pros and they want him to change that, he'll change it. But, at the same day, you've seen Phillip Rivers throw the football. It looks painful. Yeah. It worked for him. It could probably work for Byron Brown. And it just, if it works, it works. And then we've seen it work. And I know people, you want to jump to, it was the American. He's still got to throw the football. They still can go up and get the ball. It's not like he was just throwing interceptions.
It's not like he's now facing 5'7", 200-pound linemen.
But you also got to remember, they played Florida, beat Florida, and he had good numbers. They got beat by Miami, but he had good numbers against that Miami defense.
His only downfall passing stat you can get to play devil's advocate is his completion percentage. That's the only thing you got. But other than that, his game is a dual threat quarterback. He uses his legs. He knows how to utilize that properly. And that's just what's worked for him. So,
and the thing is, you can go through and find all sorts of quarterbacks that have had weird motions and it's worked out for him. Everybody mentions Tim Tebow. Tebow had very weird mechanics, more like baseball throwing type mechanics, and that was bad. Johnny Manziel wasn't the most polished passer. You mentioned Phillip Rivers. Phillip Rivers looked at coming here, and Tommy Tuberville was like, this kid is not going to be a quarterback. Like, he's going to be a tight end. And he's like, nope, I'm a quarterback. I'm going to go to NC State.
Well, let me give you another one.
Vinny Testaverde won a Heisman and a long pro career, and he had a weird sidearm throwing motion.
I'll give you another one that also won a Heisman. Now, I get it, different athleticism, but Cam throwing motion was not what people liked.
No,
it was not at all what people liked.
No, he would always throw off his back foot or up on his tippy toes. I mean, he was never set his feet and fire.
Won an MVP in the National Football League too.
Yeah, and he had a weird motion.
And his career ended shortly because he stopped being able to run the football effectively, not because anything changed with the passing. He's got hurt a lot.
I mean, he set the rookie passing yards record his rookie year. He did.
That's my point is, again, you can skin the cat, and I don't know why we say that, but we can skin the cat however many ways. And the thing is that if Byron Brown can be effective with it, and he knows the system, and he knows what it takes with that throwing motion, that's what it's going to do.
Yeah.
So, again, look, it's still very possible. We'll cover all of our bases, okay? He could throw 15 picks this year and have a horrible season, and it could still be either or true. It could be throwing motion related, or it could be he's just not reading the defense well. And that would have nothing to do with throwing motion. Again, I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think, to Jack's point again, he is not going to lead this league in completion percentage. And I said that way back in March,
right?
Talking about in the lead up to spring, like, hey, by the way, guys, watch the South Florida tape. He's not going to be a 70% plus completion guy. But again, you don't need him to be. Okay, some guys can be 72% completion percentage because they threw it to the running back 20 times, and that didn't substantially help you. So anyway, there's a lot of layers to it, but the thing is that he was productive in the American. We've had quarterbacks in this league from all different backgrounds. We've had the 5-star groomed to be excellent, and it is excellent. We've had Trinidad Chambliss come from Ferris State.
Yeah.
We've had everything in between. So the bottom line is, if it's effective for him and he's coached well and he's in the right system, they're going to get something good out of it. And I believe they'll get something good out of it. All right, let's take our first time out here of the 4 o'clock hour. When we come back, let's hit up the MLB trading deadline. It's technically 42 minutes away, so there'll be more deals on the horizon. But we'll update you with what's happened thus far as you're listening or watching the Monday edition of Sports Call live on Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, the Tiger Communications app, and streaming on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. You're listening to the multi-time Abby Award-winning Sports Call.
Weather brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union. Looking for the best credit card rate in town? The rate on Auburn University Credit Union's MasterCard starts at 7.9% APR. That's right, 7.9% APR. For more information or to apply, visit one of their 3 locations or myaucu.org. Annual percentage rate. Auburn University Credit Union is an equal opportunity lender.
First full week of August is underway, and we will see a pretty similar weather pattern for most of this week. High temperatures today will be in the upper 80s. We'll see about a quarter of the area subjected to a scattered shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon hours. Lows will be around 70 overnight. Tomorrow, very similar. Highs in the upper 80s, maybe 90 in a few places. About 20% will see another round of isolated showers and thunderstorms, and lows dropping into the low 70s. I'm Ryan Lavoie for your Tiger Communications weather update.
On Saturdays, we all wear orange and blue. But every day, Auburn University Credit Union is proud to serve the people who make this community strong. Whether you're opening your first account, buying your first car, planning for your future, or growing your business, we're here for every chapter, because at Auburn University Credit Union, you're more than a customer. You're a member. You're an owner. Your family. Auburn University Credit Union. Rooted in Auburn. Committed to you. To learn more, visit myaucu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender. NMLS number 530633.
We all know Jimmy's Car Stereo in Auburn has you covered when it comes to car stereos, accessories, and expert installation. But did you know Jimmy's is also your go-to spot for ATV and UTV gear? They've got 32-inch sassies, 3,500, 4,500, and 6,000-pound winches, belts, lighting, whips, laser lights, side mirrors, bumpers, phone holders, and rear mirrors. So whether you're upgrading your ride, decking out your ATV or UTV, or adding audio to your boat, Jimmy's has the gear and the know-how to make it happen. Jimmy's Car Stereo in Auburn. If it rolls, rides, or floats, Jimmy's makes it sound better.
Did you hear? Allstate car insurance now costs even less. So when you bundle with home, you can save even more. Check Allstate first to bundle and save with a new lower auto rate. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings may vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefit.
Looking for great deals while supporting a great cause? Visit Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, conveniently located on East University behind Zaxby's. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 5 with a huge selection of furniture, clothing for the whole family, books, home decor, and so much more. Have items to donate? We'll gladly accept donations at the back of the store from 10 until 4. Shop, donate, and make a difference at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, where every purchase helps change lives.
Looking for a new fitness home? Look no further than Tiger Iron Gym in Auburn. Our fitness area spans over 20,000 square feet, providing ample space for all your workout needs. Featuring an AstroTurf training area, an extensive range of cardio equipment that will get your heart pumping, and we are one of the largest 24-hour free weight gyms in America. Worried about parking? Don't. We have you covered with tons of parking spaces so you can focus on your workout. And we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to fit your busy schedule. Plus, we're locally owned and operated, not some big corporate gym. And you can experience all of this for just $29.99 a month with no contract. Join us today and take charge of your fitness goals. Tiger Iron Gym, South College Street in Auburn.
I'm Deshaun Davis, former Auburn Tigers football player and all SEC linebacker. You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Welcome back. This is the Monday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, Tiger Communications app. Ryan LeVoy, Jack Myrick, and Tom Peavy with you here today. Again, our apologies with the phone line. We are unsure at this time if we're going to be able to do anything about it. We've gotten a second opinion and might be things we have to do outside of the show time. So, cannot promise you we'll get the phone line up and running again, nor the hotkeys today, but we continue on. At least our normal microphones, knocking on some wood, are all good, and that way we can have our normal quality of content. All right, so going to get to Kentucky here in a little bit as we count through all the 16 SEC teams, one per show. Before we do that, though, MLB trading deadline. It is about 35 minutes away from its expiration, and man, it's been busy. I was telling Brooks a little bit earlier. The MLB trading deadline never disappoints. It's either one of two things. It's either you have a couple of huge trades, a couple or maybe a week before, July 24th-ish, you have a huge starting pitcher, a huge player change hands, and that dilutes the trading deadline a little bit, and you'll get a bunch of smaller moves on the actual deadline and that sort of thing. Or you don't get the big lead-up trade and just all hell breaks loose in the last 24 to 48 hours leading up to the deadline. And that's more of what we have going on here today. We'll get to the national story in just a moment, but we want to cover the Braves first. Of course, you can listen to the Braves on our sister station, 1230 WAUD. They've been busy with smaller, kind of on the periphery trades, I would say. Over the last 24 or so hours. We'll go through them all here pretty quickly. Again, there's still a few minutes. There's still the thought that there could be another move at some point. Of course, I know Braves/Auburn fans were really hoping for Casey Mize, a name that has gained traction the last couple of days. But to this point, that has not happened. So trade-wise for Atlanta, last couple of days, one of the, I would say maybe the most consequential ones that they have done was their trade yesterday with the Kansas City Royals, where they got Lane Thomas, the outfielder, and left-hander Bailey Falter, again from KC. Now, Bailey Falter, I'm just going to be blunt, is irrelevant here. He is going to start in AAA Gwinnett, and he may or may not ever see the big league team. But Lane Thomas there is an outfielder who has played for the Royals for a little while. Decent power in his bat, not a high batting average. He reminds me of the type of moves the Braves made at the deadline a few years ago when they got all those outfielders. And you're like, I don't know if any one of these is awesome, but in the conglomerate, Jock Peterson, Adam Duvall, Jorge Soler all had incredibly meaningful moments. Lane Thomas is more of that ilk and providing depth to the outfield. So there's that one. You had the Braves make kind of a lesser important reliever move. I believe it was late last night, acquiring Tyler Mahle from the San Francisco Giants. He is somebody that has, quite frankly, really struggled. I call him a reliever. He has primarily started in his career. I think the Braves would employ him in long relief. A career 4.19 ERA this year, had a 5.13 in San Francisco, and just kind of going back and forth between, a decent season, a bad season, a decent season, a bad season. So you have that one. The Braves this morning acquired left-handed relief pitcher Brent Suter from the Los Angeles Angels for Nacho Alvarez. He'd had a cup of coffee with the Braves, and Brent Suter, a lefty specialist, being a Brave. And then I'm not sure what they got in return, but about an hour ago, the Braves traded Joey Bart, one of their backup catchers, to the Chicago White Sox. Unsure on the return there. So I think the biggest thing here, guys, is that, and I think Lindsey Crosby might have said this, or our friend of the program, if there is a big move to come, these are really acceptable secondary moves, again, eating around the periphery. If there is not a big move here, this is an incredibly underwhelming deadline if you're the Braves. Is that how you feel?
Yeah. Did you mention Eli White leaving?
Is he in the White Sox trade?
Red Sox.
There's another trade?
The Braves are trading outfielder Eli White to the Red Sox for right-handed pitcher Tyler Uberstein.
That's brand new then.
That was 20 minutes ago.
That's brand new because I had collected my 4 trades. Okay, I'll have to find out a little bit more. Okay, all right. So 5 trades.
And then Lindsey Crosby, friend of the program, says, so there's the Lane Thomas roster spot, but again, still need a starter.
Right.
So I don't, but Mark Feinsand.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Braves are trading outfielder Eli White to the Red Sox for right-handed pitcher Tyler Uberstein.
And that's uber underwhelming.
Well, it's very underwhelming, especially when you go down through here and you see that the Braves were maybe in the mix for Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, he didn't want to waive his no trade.
Yeah, he didn't want, but apparently they're in there. Still wondering about Casey Mize. What's going to happen there? Obviously, the Tigers are getting rid of guys because there's one that we're going to talk about here in a second. But Casey Mize is still there, and I mean, there's been that talk of the Braves need that true number 2 guy to go with Chris Sale. Well, Casey Mize could be that guy. Right now, you're just kind of doing bullpen dudes and some depth pieces, but you still need that. You still need to try to bring in a true number 2. Now, what are you going to have to give up for Casey Mize? That I don't know, but.
Well, and we've talked about in recent years, the Braves farm system had fallen really low. It is getting better. It is not, I would say, in a completely replenished state, but it's improving. It's now got a couple of guys back in the top 100. I think it was last year we looked at it, and they didn't have a single guy in the top 75. They only had one top 100 prospect, and it was like 93 or 87 or something like that. They've got a couple of guys in there now, so it's getting incrementally better. And I think good enough to make a trade like that. It's just that you're going to have to part with one of your top prospects in the organization, one of your only really good prospects in the organization. And I think that, Atlanta has to make the same calculus that all these other teams are making. Is this good enough to beat the Dodgers? Is this enough to compete with the Dodgers? And it's really hard to come up with the answer that, yes, it's going to be. Now, again, you can look at the records right now. The records are incredibly similar. Dodgers, Brewers, and Braves all are within a game of each other. The way it's shaping out in the regular season, they're hanging right there. But when you get in these condensed postseason series and you're only playing the very best players and you've got the top starters that you've got, then at that point, that's when these teams like the Dodgers have traditionally really taken over. And again, they've won 2 titles in a row.
But they just got swept. So they're vulnerable. The Dodgers, They're vulnerable. They just got swept at home by the Red Sox, who, yes,
right,
are just absolutely scorching red hot right now. But
that's baseball.
It's
Again,
baseball, sure. But it does show that roster is kind of vulnerable. But now they've also just now added one of the best pitchers in baseball to go along with their already stupid good lineup. So
right. So again, that's why I'm saying that's what the calculus is for the Braves and Brewers,
right?
Phillies to a lesser extent. They're doing is what can we do to make ourselves feel better about the inevitable impending doom of the Dodgers. And for me, for the Braves, it has always been they've got to have a second starter in a postseason series that they can rely on.
They don't have.
They are, quite frankly, they're kind of hinging on luck. Like the luck that Grant Holmes or Bryce Elder or Martin Perez are going to align the stars at the proper time and give you some of their best starts of their career. Because that's what it would take for them to be successful in the postseason. And, that's a hope is not a plan type of thing, unfortunately. I just think that they are content doing these on-the-margin moves. They are content doing these small things that are not jeopardizing their prospect pool. And I mean, look, on one hand, it sucks because you always want your team to go all in, right? That's always going to be true. But on the other hand, it's like, man, okay, you get the second best pitcher on a piece of paper. You're still not as good as the Dodgers, but does that make you feel better that at that time of inflection, when you do see them, does it make you feel better that, you're going to be able to beat them? And gosh, I mean, I love Casey Mize. I think it'd be really cool to root for him in a Braves uniform, but I mean, he's an upgrade. Is he enough to say, man, he's going to shut down the Dodgers lineup or whoever? You can't really confidently say that. So, with what the Braves have done, they went and got a lefty specialist. Okay, you can never have enough bullpen. Get a lefty reliever like that. Brent Suter, he's one of those submarine guys. That's quality. He's a veteran pitcher. I don't know if Tyler Mahle will ever be on the big squad. If he is, probably long relief, another starting option. If you're got a doubleheader, you got a bunch of games in a row, whatever. And then, like I said, with with Lane Thomas, he is okay. He has spurts where he is good, and he has other spurts where he's really bad. And last year in Cleveland, he played 39 games, had over 100 at-bats, and he hit 160. This year in KC, he's gotten a bunch of at-bats, almost 300. He's still only hitting 232, but at least he's hit 10 homers. His career high in homers, in 2023 with Washington, he hit 28 homers, drove in 86, and hit 268. And that would be a really quality player. And the Braves are not asking for that for the whole season. And they're not even technically asking that for 2 months because they're going to platoon him. He's not going to play a whole lot. They're asking to get a few weeks of that, the right few weeks of that. So, again, on the margins, it's fine. Is he an upgrade over Eli White? Probably, because that's effectively what's happened here is, they sent out Eli White for the roster spot. The kid they picked up from Boston only pitched one big league game this year, so he's going to
he's already been optioned.
Yeah, he's going to AAA. So this is effectively Lane Thomas over Eli White. That's fine. He's a little better than Eli White, but is improving the Eli White's spot on your roster going to win you the World Series? I highly doubt it.
Right.
I highly, highly doubt it. Is making your 5th inning pitcher or 6th inning pitcher better going to win the World Series? Probably not. So it's just going to be hard to sell to Braves fans that they've gotten significantly better. They have not. They've gotten maybe a smidge better over the course of the last couple of days.
And that's where people are going to really look at Alex Anthopoulos and kind of shrug your arms and hands at him like, bro, what are you doing? I remember, just a few years ago, it was like everything that dude touched seemed to turn to gold. It didn't matter what it was. And you mentioned, you bring it in Soler and he ends up being so good. And it is like every move he made was great. And then missing out on Freddie Freeman. You still got Matt Olson, but you lost Freddie Freeman and you lost Dansby. And it feels like ever since then, it's treading water to try to get back to something. And now it feels like, everybody in the world knows that you need a second starter and you're not doing it. And it's like, come on, man, what are you doing? But hey, you still got, we got 22 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah.
Maybe they make a move right here at the end. But the thing is the amount of starting pitchers that those moves are already being made, unless that Anthopoulos has his mindset on somebody and they're just working out the phone calls right now. I don't know, but time's ticking there, bud, and you have to have that second starter.
And maybe the phone lines are filled with static and you can't even hear
there you go.
Those happen from the time we hear. I think too, though, we'll wrap this up with the Braves. We'll go to the Dodgers here for a second. I think realistically, this is what was expected, though, because Alex Anthopoulos has never really done the big trades. Those trades worked out big time, but don't get revisionist history. Trading for Adam Duvall and Jorge Soler and Jock Peterson were not big trades at the time.
No.
They're like, that's a bunch of decent outfielders, and we hope one or two of them sticks. And then they all had their moments.
And it turned out great. That's why I said it seemed like everything he touched turned to gold, whether it was good, bad, or otherwise. You're like, that worked out.
This is more his MO. We're going to get kind of I won't say random outfielder, but we're going to get a very normal, average, maybe even slightly below average at time outfielder. Going to get a relief pitcher. Going to get a starter that may or may not start for the big league team, maybe a long reliever. And we're just going to let that ride. And if they help us, they help us. And if they don't help us, we didn't upset the apple cart of the main roster. So, again, I get it. It's hard to compel yourself when you're still a little thin in the farm system and the Dodgers are being the Dodgers. But, it's always going to be a little bit of a hard selling point when you don't do the big trade. Now,
speaking of the Dodgers
so we've danced around it. I'm sure everyone that's following baseball is very aware. But Tariq Skubal, the former Cy Young winner,
two-time,
one of the best pitchers in baseball. He is now an LA Dodger. 7-5 this year, but I think the ERA is mid to upper twos, bunch of strikeouts, all the same great numbers he's had the last 3 or 4 years in Detroit. And it's like, you just got to be kidding me. The Dodgers just got the number one guy in the trade market again.
Yeah. And we mentioned it kind of at the beginning of the show that it's part of why the season may not start on time next year, because there has to be something done. There has to be a cap. You just can't. And now, if you're a Dodgers fan, obviously you love it. But if you're everybody else, you're just like, I mean, this kind of starts getting ridiculous at a certain point. That you just have that much money and can just go buy the best players whenever you want to. And there's nothing stopping you from just throwing millions upon millions upon millions of dollars out there. In the meantime, you have teams like the Kansas City Royals, small market, that might have that one good season, but then they can't afford all this and they're having to ship dudes around. But the Dodgers can just get whoever they want to. And, that's what's going to happen with this lockout. Is that's one of the big things that's going to be discussed, so that this type of thing cannot continue if you want parity in baseball, because otherwise the Dodgers and the Yankees, from what they had, and they're just load up with the best of the best, and I dare you to beat us. And that's not good for Major League Baseball.
Well, and so I discussed this at the table earlier. I'll now bring it to the light of live radio and live streaming. There's some that think that there's a bit of a conspiracy going on.
Oh, yeah.
That the owners around Major League Baseball are okay with / aiding the Dodgers and, giving these deals out, be willing to do this with them to encourage public opinion to be in favor of the owners when it's time to collectively bargain here at the end of the year, so that the owners have a better chance of getting their salary cap introduced. Because what everyone's saying right now is, you've got to be kidding me. How can they afford all this? All these things, you like, they're getting all these players, their money is not an option,
right,
or not an object even. Like, it is just, they are just gargling talent, and they're deferring money, and they're doing all these things. They don't care about the luxury tax. The luxury tax is not punishing enough. And so the core of public opinion is the Dodgers must be stopped. They can't get away with this. And the owners want that. because they want the salary cap, and the Dodgers being put under control puts them closer to the salary cap. Now, again, that's a theory. I'm not telling you I subscribe to it. I very seldom believe in conspiracies. I'm not one of those type of people, but I think the dots are very easy to connect there, and I think it is a thought process worth examining. But the reality is that, yeah, the Dodgers have been doing all this, and there's some people trying to defend the Dodgers who, same typical crew, the Colin Cowherds of the world, that just really don't get it, quite frankly. And they're saying, well, someone else could have traded for Skubal. No, they couldn't. And here's why. It's not about the $8 or $9 million he's due the rest of the year. They can't afford to get their prospects for someone they have no chance of re-signing. Tariq Skubal has already told you he's going to sign with the team that offers the most money. Well, guess what? The Tampa Bay Rays and the Seattle Mariners and all these teams, the Milwaukee Brewers, can't pay him the most money.
Right.
The Los Angeles Dodgers will, or maybe the Yankees, or maybe the Phillies, or maybe the Red Sox, and that's about it. Maybe the Mets. But so there's only 4 or 5 teams that can realistically win those bidding wars. And so then the counter argument from them is, oh, well, they should just invest more in their teams. They are. They don't make as much.
Right.
How is this hard to understand? So there's a thing. Excuse me, I'm getting emotional. There's a thing right now, and you can go find it. It was reported all over the place. The Los Angeles Dodgers, they filed for bankruptcy about a decade ago or now, maybe a little bit more. And when they did that, there was a special TV protection put in. So typically Major League Baseball, all of the teams pay out into a pool 33% of their TV revenue money. And it goes to the teams that are making less. It's, again, pooled evenly. And so you're taxed on your TV earnings. Well, when the Dodgers went bankrupt and they signed a massive, I believe it was $8 billion TV deal over 20 plus years. When they signed this deal, because they were bankrupt at the time, they got Major League Baseball and the court to have a cheaper tax penalty on the Dodgers to keep more of the revenue so that they would be, again, getting out of bankruptcy. And they only have to pay 10% of their TV contract revenue and taxes to this pool, Major League Baseball. So everyone else is paying 33%. They're paying 10%. And that equates to $66 million per year, roughly, that the Dodgers get to keep, more than they should be keeping. So you're talking about the team that already has ownership, willing to do whatever, already makes a ton of money, and they're getting the more $1 million per year. Okay? That can go a long way, because what the other argument from people that don't understand is, again, these other teams, why don't they just spend more of their money? Percentage-wise, the Dodgers spend about 70% of the revenue they generate. The Arizona Diamondbacks, for example, who are second in that division, spend almost 80% of the revenue that they make. And the Diamondbacks do not even have a big payroll. But again, that number shows you, yeah, the Dodgers spend a lot of their revenue, but the other teams, on average, actually spend a higher percentage of their revenue. Sure, you can find a Tampa Bay Ray, a Miami Marlin that does not. But a bunch of these teams do actually spend a higher percentage of their revenue than the Dodgers do. It's just that their revenue is not as high. So anyway, there's misconceptions out there. There's people trying to defend the Dodgers. Again, the Dodgers do whatever they want. That's not my issue here. My issue is that this is the good proof of why there's going to be a salary cap, because they did get a break with the TV money, and they are spending it, and they are piling and maybe stacking the deck. And their only defense is that this is the toughest deck to stack, because Major League Baseball is such a random outcome thing that if I stack the 10 best offensive players in football, or 5 of the top 10 and 5 of the top 10 defense players, would I win the Super Bowl? I would suggest that unless I have an incredibly incompetent coach, I'm going to win the Super Bowl. If you give me the best quarterback, the best receiver, the best offensive line, the best edge rusher, the best defensive backfield, I'm probably winning the Super Bowl, and I'm going to do it to you year in, year out. And this model worked in college, just worked up the road. And so I can kind of do that. In basketball, if I get the best point guard in the NBA, and I get the best small forward or the second best, and I get another 2 or 3 great players, am I going to win the NBA Finals if they're healthy? Well, yeah, ask the Golden State Warriors. So the point is that when you stack it this way, it's going to work out for you. And even in baseball, which is more random outcome, it's working for the Dodgers to stack the deck this way, having won 2 straight titles.
Braves made another move. The Braves have acquired right-handed pitcher Duncan Davitt from the Chicago White Sox in exchange for catcher Joey Bart and optioned him to AAA Gwinnett. Was that an old one?
Yeah, that happened about an hour ago.
Okay.
I did not know who they gave up, but yes, Joey Bart was traded an hour ago.
Okay, Barisali and the Braves are just now releasing that.
Because it was not reported who they had traded.
Okay.
And I was looking for that. So no, that did help out. We now know who they traded.
All right, yep.
And I don't know who that is.
Joey Bart?
No, I know who Joey Bart is. I don't know
Duncan Davitt.
Right.
Yeah. Well, he's going.
I don't know who they had gotten from the White Sox.
He's going to Gwinnett anyway.
There you go.
Still not your number 2 starter. It doesn't sound like.
No, absolutely not. No. Again, and they were clearing roster spots. That might be for Brent Suter. That might be his roster spot. Maybe, I don't know. Because again, the Eli White for Lane Thomas, that's 1-to-1 roster spot. But I know they're not going to put. I don't think they're going to put Malley up in the big leagues, but I think they want to put Suter up there.
Right.
So they unless they had DFA'd a reliever, which to my knowledge they have not done today. That was what they were going to need to do there. So yeah, again, just a lot of moves on the periphery. And again, that was not entirely unexpected from Alex Anthopoulos. You always hope that there's going to be a huge move at some point. And our buddy Austin saying that Tyler Malley's going to start against the Yankees this weekend. So what do I know? The guy with that's what's frustrating because the guy with the 5.1 ERA is going to get a roster spot.
Yeah.
Like that's the whatever, dude. At that point. Meanwhile, the Yankees acquired multiple outfielders today. I don't know if you saw that. So I'm sure they'll tee off on Tyler Malley this weekend. But yeah, again, the Dodgers have every right to do what they're doing. The only caveat is they should not be getting the break that they're getting. They're out of bankruptcy. It was an insane deal to give them 20 years of, less taxed income on their TV deal. And now they can defer all this money and all this stuff. So again, if you're just gauging Major League Baseball, yesterday was a really rough day if you wanted 162 games in 2027. Yeah. Yesterday did not help that one bit. And we're now looking at the Dodgers trying to three-peat, probability going up, probability of a shortened season or no season all going up next year. Because, look, I also said this earlier today. We got like a minute left here in the hour, so I'll wrap it up like this. The Players Union of Major League Baseball is very Notre Dame football-like.
All right.
And they're very proud that they are the last ones of the major American sports not to have a salary cap. NHL, NBA, NFL, hard cap, soft cap, whatever, they all have it. And Major League Baseball is like, if you wanted to spend $1 billion on this, you'd be a little crazy, but we'll let you do it. We're going to tax the hell out of you eventually, but you could do it. No one's stopping you. And again, the Dodgers, no one's stopping them. But Major League Baseball's Players Union is going to fight tooth and nail over this. And they have shown no signs. They do not like Rob Manfred. There is not a good working rapport there. And the owners are very tired of not having a salary cap. And it works both ways because they also want a salary floor. And this is where they try to pitch to the players that, but you'll get a better contract from Tampa when we're making them pay $50 million more per year.
Right.
You'll get a better contract from the Athletics or the Marlins when they can't only spend 60 or 70 million a year. And that's what they try to come to the table. But you can't put a cap out there. Because players now have a boundary and they want no boundaries. Even if they're not going to hit their head on that boundary, they want no boundary. We could even relate this to college sports. Okay, the minute you say to someone, you can't make $10 million. Well, that might only apply to 2 people. But everyone's like, oh, man, I hoped I could make $10 million. And so it's really tough to put caps on things that don't already have caps. And so they're going to fight tooth and nail over that. I have no idea how long we'll wait, but I would be shocked if they played the whole season next year. That's the one thing I do feel. All right, we're out of time for hour number 2. Let's look at the trading deadline. If anything special happens in the next 8 minutes or so, we will update you on that. But otherwise, coming up in hour number 3, it's on to the 14th place team in the preseason SEC poll, the Kentucky Wildcats. We will preview their 2026 prospects when you come back in hour number 3 on this Monday edition of Sports Call Tiger 95.9.
Two hours of Sports Call are finished. Don't touch that radio dial. We've got one more hour to go.
Keeping your money in a traditional savings account is like using the Yellow Pages instead of Google. Outdated and slow. Skip the small, slow returns and put your money to work with the Max Elevate Money Market. You get all the same security of a savings account, plus the ability to earn even more on your money. Get started at mymax.com/elevate or call us at 260-2600. Certain restrictions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
TK's Convenience Stores are your one-stop shop from Auburn to the Lake and Tallahassee to Tuskegee. Offering friendly service and a clean environment, there is sure to be a TK's located near you. Stop by on your way to and from work or school and pick up everything you need, from beer, soft drinks, and fresh hot coffee to food, snacks, and ice cream. Plus, automotive and household products, pet food, and an ATM in every store. Just look for the orange and blue Starburst sign and stop by your local TK store today. TK's Convenience Stores, they're your one-stop shop.
Every day, we power homes and businesses in our communities, but we also power something else, bright futures for our youth. We visit classrooms to speak on topics ranging from career opportunities to leadership skills, and we help make college possible by providing scholarships to deserving students. Bright futures are ahead, and we help make it happen. Brought to you by Tallapoosa River Electric Cooperative.
Some beers are made to blend in. Blue Moon Belgian White was brewed to stand out. Crafted with Valencia orange peel for a bright citrus taste and a smooth, refreshing finish, it's the perfect way to elevate any occasion. Served best with an orange garnish, every sip brings out its signature flavor. Whether you're unwinding after work or gathering with friends, reach for something a little brighter. Blue Moon Belgian White. Made brighter, please enjoy responsibly.
At Mid-South Bank, our banking philosophy is family comes first. You see, we're more than a safe place to put your money or get a loan. We're a place for you to put your trust. No matter what your financial needs, you'll come first every step of the way. Come in today at 519 East Glen Avenue or visit bankmidsouth.com to find out what the friendliest, most helpful bank in town can do for you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The summer heat is here, and the best way to make sure you stay cool all season long is to give May Refrigeration a call. When your AC goes out or needs maintenance, May Refrigeration's technicians are trained and equipped to handle anything that comes their way. And don't forget, it's never a bad time to get your heating system checked, especially when you aren't using it. Give May Refrigeration a call today at 745-COLD. That's 745-COLD. So for quality customer service that you can count on every time, May Refrigeration, proudly serving the Auburn and Opelika area.
Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory is here for you when you need us. With locations in Lee, Chambers, and Tallapoosa counties, serving the people of East Alabama and West Georgia since 1900. A family-owned and operated business, skip the hassle of the big corporate mortuaries. Our kind, compassionate team members are standing by to assist your family in the hardest of times. An on-site crematory, private cemetery, and a choice of facilities makes Frederick Dean unique. Visit us at frederickdean.com.
Looking for great deals while supporting a great cause? Visit Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, conveniently located on East University behind Zaxby's. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 until 5 with a huge selection of furniture, clothing for the whole family, books, home decor, and so much more. Have items to donate? We'll gladly accept donations at the back of the store from 10 until 4. Shop, donate, and make a difference at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store, where every purchase helps change lives.
The summer heat is here, and the best way to make sure you stay cool all season long is to give May Refrigeration a call. When your AC goes out or needs maintenance, May Refrigeration's technicians are trained and equipped to handle anything that comes their way. And don't forget, it's never a bad time to get your heating system checked, especially when you aren't using it. Give May Refrigeration a call today at 745-COLD. That's 745-COLD. So for quality customer service that you can count on every time, May Refrigeration, proudly serving the Auburn and Opelika area.
On Saturdays, we all wear orange and blue, but every day, Auburn University Credit Union is proud to serve the people who make this community strong. Whether you're opening your first account, buying your first car, planning for your future, or growing your business, we're here for every chapter, because at Auburn University Credit Union, you're more than a customer. You're a member. You're an owner. Your family. Auburn University Credit Union, rooted in Auburn, committed to you. To learn more, visit myaucu.org. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal Opportunity Lender. NMLS number 530633.
At Mid-South Bank, we're your problem solver and financial advisor. Managing your money can be challenging. The good news is you don't have to go it alone. You have a friend in us. No matter what your financial status, we're here to help you do what's best for you. Come in today at 519 East Glen Avenue or visit bankmidsouth.com to find out what the friendliest, most helpful bank in town can do for you. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
Looking for a new fitness home? Look no further than Tiger Iron Gym in Auburn. Our fitness area spans over 20,000 square feet, providing ample space for all your workout needs. Featuring an AstroTurf training area, an extensive range of cardio equipment that will get your heart pumping, and we are one of the largest 24-hour free weight gyms in America. Worried about parking? Don't. We have you covered with tons of parking spaces so you can focus on your workout. And we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to fit your busy schedule. Plus, we're locally owned and operated, not some big corporate gym. And you can experience all of this for just $29.99 a month with no contract. Join us today and take charge of your fitness goals. Tiger Iron Gym, South College Street in Auburn.
Hello friends, Tay Gibbs here at Fairway Auto Brokers. Hot days and hotter deals. Fairway Auto Brokers is turning up the heat this summer with 2 locations, one in Auburn and one in Opelika. Finding your next vehicle is easier than ever. Choose from our massive selection of over 125 vehicles in stock right now. Beat the heat and score an amazing deal today. Shop our inventory online at fairwayautobrokers.com.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9 FM, WTGZ, Tuskegee, Auburn.
This is the Tiger Communications Sports Report brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union. I'm Ryan Lavoie. Back in March, 6 student athletes on the Auburn gymnastics team earned all SEC recognition from the Southeastern Conference. That total tied a program best for the Tigers. To earn all SEC recognition, gymnasts must finish in the top 4 spots per event in each SEC championship session. 4 Tigers were recognized for their efforts on floor, leading the way with sophomore Marissa Neal, who finished tied for second in the afternoon session with a 9.9. The All-SEC recognition was the first of Neal's career. Junior Julianne Huff followed with a 9.875 on floor for All-SEC honors for the second time in her career. She secured All-SEC on floor in 2024. Sophomore Olivia Ahern and junior Olivia Graves each earned 9.85s to be placed on the All-SEC team for the first time in their careers. Neal also secured All-SEC for her performance on vault, scoring a 9.9 to tie for third. Juniors Emma Grace Boyd and Alex Irvine was placed on the All-SEC team for the first time in their careers following solid performances on bars. The pair each had a 9.85 to finish among the top 4 scorers in the event. In news from Atlanta Falcons training camp, Tua Tagovailoa is especially alarmed by a tight back that has kept him out of full practices early in training camp. but the Falcons quarterback also said he isn't sure when he'll be ready to participate fully. Tagovailoa said Friday that he believes the Falcons are keeping him out for precautionary reasons, and if it were game week, he would likely be ready to go. Tagovailoa said the back issue was a, quote, flare-up that started last week, though not something he has experienced before. On Friday, Tagovailoa did individual drills with the other quarterbacks. He did not participate in 7-on-7 or 11-on-11 sessions, but did do a half-speed walkthrough with the offense late in the practice. And in other Falcons news, the Atlanta Falcons are continuing to lock up their young starters to long-term contracts. The Falcons announced Saturday a 4-year contract extension for starting left guard Matthew Bergeron. The deal is worth $96 million with $60 million guaranteed. Bergeron would have been a free agent at the end of the season. Bergeron, who is 26, was a second-round pick in the 2023 draft out of Syracuse. The Canada native was a starter at left guard from day one in Atlanta. He missed 2 games last season, but otherwise has started every game since 2023 for the Falcons at that position, 49 in total. Don't forget that Tiger Communications is your home for all the latest news from the Atlanta Falcons. I'm Ryan Lavoie, and this has been your Tiger Communications Sports Report, brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union.
Auburn University Credit Union has partnered with Care Humane Society for the AUCU CARES debit card. It's free to you, and each time you swipe the card, AUCU makes a donation on your behalf. It's a win-win. For more information, visit myaucu.org. AUCU is federally insured by the NCUA and an equal opportunity lender.
You're listening to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9 FM, WTGZ, Tuskegee, Auburn. Whether you're leaving work, cruising around town, or listening on demand, we've still got some fun left for you. To be part of the show, give us a call at 334-887-3401 locally or toll free at 1-888-9-TIGER-9. Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show has been on the air since 1995 and is ready for 60 more minutes of fun. Now, let's get this hour of Sports Call started.
Third and final hour of Sports Call beginning right now. Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Ryan Lavoie, Tom Peavy, Jack Myrick with you here this afternoon. Jared Dillard also in studio running our stream. That's right. You can watch us. YouTube and Facebook are the places at Sports Call Auburn. Well, we think the phone issue has been resolved. Do we know how it's resolved? Not necessarily. But if you want to give us a try here in hour number 3, we can do that. 334-887-3401 locally or toll free 1-888-9-TIGER-9. And again, we'll try to take your phone calls. Hopefully, the issue has been resolved to the best of our testing ability. We think it has. But you could be the ultimate test for us in this 5 o'clock hour. Otherwise, we get going, and we begin by telling you that Casey Mize has been traded, but not to the Atlanta Braves. So that, if you were hoping and praying there, San Diego Padres, I believe, at the buzzer. And there you go. So the Tigers do unload their 2 best pitchers. Tariq Skubal out west to the Dodgers. Casey Mize out west to the Padres. So keeping up with the NL West there. All right, so we need to get to our SEC team preview. Again, we are going reverse order. We started at 16. And again, we do this by voted from the SEC media as a whole, not any one of us, although we might have had certain things the way that the media as a whole did. But so we go on to number 14 here in the preseason SEC poll. Again, 15 was Mississippi State. We did them Friday. 16 was Arkansas. We did those Thursday. On to Kentucky, another first-year head coach in Lexington. And first time in a long time that has been true. We saw a very productive tenure from Mark Stoops. He had been the longest tenured SEC coach active SEC coach until his dismissal at the end of last year. He took the job in Lexington in 2013, compiled ultimately, though, still a losing record of 72-80, 38-68 in the Southeastern Conference. And so it's a new dawn in Lexington. First, guys, let's just start with the dynamic of that coaching change. How surprised or not surprised were you that the end of the line came from Mark Stoops? And what do you think of Will Stein?
I'm not surprised at all they moved on from Mark Stoops. I mean, things had just they had run its course, I guess, is best way to say it. I mean, they had a couple of decent years under him, but it was going downhill quick. And in the SEC, you can't fall behind too far, even if you're just Kentucky. So had to make a move. Now, Will Stein, I'll tell you this. I don't know a lot about Will Stein, but everything that I have heard is positive about him. Apparently, everybody that has talked about it is he's like the perfect fit at Kentucky. Just rave reviews about him. Kind of that name being brought up there with, potential best hires along with Summerall and Golish. Is that going to happen or not? I don't know, but everybody's saying it's the perfect fit for Kentucky and that they expect big things out of him. Now, are they going to get big things out of him this year? Doubtful. I mean, that roster is bare. I mean, they've got some decent players. Got a really good tight end. I think they've got a couple offensive linemen that are pretty good, but the talent level for Kentucky is just not there right now. So he might be able to build them back up, but it's not going to happen this season.
Yeah, I did like the Stein hire coming from Oregon. I liked what they actually did this offseason with the transfer portal. I thought they actually got some good pieces in there. I thought they got some decent guys, as you mentioned, tight end Rodriguez. I would be a little bit higher on them what they could be this season, but looking at their schedule, it is a gauntlet that they're going to go through, especially early on. And that does not play well into like a first year head coach at all and trying to build something up. So I don't really expect much from them when it comes to the win category, but as I said, I do like Will Stein. I'm not going to jump on, a bandwagon and say like he's the next Signetti, because I know some people have thought that the voter that voted for Kentucky came out and said that from SC Media Days. I don't know if y'all had seen that.
Oh, I didn't. He exposed himself.
He exposed himself,
and then
said, and said the reason why he was like, I was just trying to, get on the next Signetti. He was just that was his reasoning. So
yeah, let's not invite him back.
But that is something that I was found very interesting. But I do think they, got a guy that can develop in something and kind of maybe at best get them to like an 8-win kind of program again.
So I will say this about the Stoops firing. I think it is always a bit sad when someone has been able to last that long. Yeah. And even at a tough job, like a job that, and it's tough in the standpoint, not of expectation. It's tough in the standpoint, it's really hard to achieve something. Right. And again, knowing that 500 for a long period of time was really pretty good for the Kentucky coach. But it goes back to what I was saying last week. Times are changing and expectations are changing across the board. And no one should be content missing bowl games year in, year out. And the last 2 years, they went back to missing bowl games. And he had a heck of a 2021. They went 10-3. They had another 10-win season earlier in his tenure, a bunch of 7- and 8-win seasons, like really solid, respectable stuff. And I think the other part of it is, again, guys, he was about to be the Texas A&M head coach. Right after that final 7-6 year of 2023, he was nearly the Texas A&M coach. And to go from that to fired in 2 years at a school with, again, relatively low expectations, that's a bit jarring in that sense. But it was clear if you wanted someone to get over any sort of reasonable hump, Stoops was not going to get you there. He was going to get you to be a respectable program, a respectable team, but there was no playoff potential in him. And I think they finished in the top 25 just twice in his all of his seasons. So again, there was a clear limitation. Now with Will Stein, I am intrigued. Look, we're not going to do the hyperbolic compare him to X, Y, and Z. But I think that what you're looking at is this is a young guy that coordinated one of the top offenses in the country the last few years. And there is an inherent boom potential in someone like that. As there is with everyone, there's risk. And does he know how to be a head coach? Is this the type of tough job that he can excel in? Would he have been better to wait a couple of years and get a bigger job? Like, those are always your questions. And some of the top coordinators that waited a long time got good jobs and still didn't do anything with them. And we've discussed that part of it too. But I do think that Will Stein, what he did with the Oregon offense the last 3 seasons, Dante Moore, some Bo Nix, like, clearly he was running good offensive football. And I chalk him up to another Jeff Levy type guy where I don't know if it will work ultimately. I don't know if there will be enough defense, if there will be the intangibles, if they'll get enough good players, etc. But I do know that their offense should be respectable, and it should be a heck of a lot better than it has been, because Mark Stoops was a defensive guy. That offense was stuck in mud. Let me tell you what. They have totaled last 7 years, 23 points, 20.5, 29, 20.5, 32, 21.5, and then 27. They've had a bunch of really poor offenses. And meanwhile, their defenses were all, for the most part, except the last one, pretty solid, but they just never married it with good offense. So Will Stein is different, and they will deliver some offense in time. Now, as it looks to this season, and we'll get schedule, we'll get ceiling and floor in a little bit later. But, you know, they're probably going Kenny Minchie, the Notre Dame transfer at quarterback. They did get C.J. Baxter from Texas. That's a really solid get. Obviously, the Texas running back room's still loaded, so I don't know if that Texas will miss him, but Kentucky could welcome in there. And again, guys, just in general, it's a roster that flipped over so much. Another one where, again, understandable, but, I mean, you're looking across the board, most of the production completely gone. I think they put 1 or 2 guys on the All-SEC team. You guys mentioned the tight end, Willie Rodriguez. But, you know, there's nothing like, even, you know, we were mentioning on Friday, because I know, Tom, you mentioned him before too, even though you were not on Friday's show. Like, okay, at Mississippi State, I feel pretty good about Kamari Taylor being fun. Will he get it done in the key moments? Will he have enough around him? Those are all the questions. But he will make positive plays. He'll make cool plays. It will be watchable because of him. Is Kenny Minchie good enough to be watchable? Will the Kentucky offense be good enough to be watchable in year one? That's the question. And again, I like Stein to build offense in time, but is it already ready-made? Again, that's hard to be determined.
Yeah. Like I said, I mean, you're pretty much saying exactly what I said. I think Will Stein, given the time, he might be able to do something with them. You know, expectations of Kentucky football. I mean, well, obviously you can get to 10 wins. I mean, it happened.
Yeah.
You know,
twice.
Sure. Yeah. So, I mean, you could get to 10 wins. Now, are you ever going to be national championship caliber? Highly, highly doubtful. But if you're getting 10 wins and you're at least putting yourself,
make the playoff.
You're putting yourself in position. So, you know, sure, that's not going to happen this year. I know you said we're going to get in the floor and ceiling. They don't have the pieces in there right now. Yeah, that defense was awful last year, and lost a lot of guys from an awful defense. So, but you're still having to rebuild a bad defense. To get his offense going, you're going to have to get more pieces of the puzzle in there. Yeah, the transfer quarterback may help you out some, but I mean, there's only so much you can do. You know, I don't know that I would necessarily say that the cupboard was bare for Will Stein, but it wasn't a lot there. You know, there were some crumbs. So there's some crumbs in the cupboard. It's going to be tough. And then, you know, Jack, you mentioned the schedule. Good Lord. Yeah. Have fun trying to find wins in that schedule. Because, I mean, you play, you don't play Georgia, but you play all the other big dogs. And one of your non-conference is Louisville, who may be okay. So,
yeah, they only get one first-year head coach in the SEC.
Right.
Well, you know, you talk about the cupboard being bare. And to be fair, not trying to rhyme, but last year, when we talked about Mississippi State and Arkansas had 2 wins, right? But they had 6 one-possession games. That's a bunch of really competitive games. And if, You know, I know you're going down the Nebraska line of thinking because we'd always do this with them, but there's a world they're a bowl team and they're not awful. And you know, and when Mississippi State won 5 games and did go to a bowl because of the dropouts, you know, I think they had 3 1-possession losses and a couple overtime losses. So it's like, okay, man, like there was 2 really good wins out there to get you. Kentucky, they only had 2 1-possession losses. Ole Miss really early. They almost got Ole Miss again after getting them the year before. And then a close one with Texas in overtime. Again, Texas doing stupid things in the middle of the schedule to stunt any potential growth. So I get it. They won 5 and 7, so they beat Auburn. They beat Florida, as we know.
Yeah, wonderful 10-3.
Right. Again, a rousing affair that showed one program that they needed to change leadership.
Yeah,
not Kentucky at that time. But here's my point. They were uncompetitive a ton. I mean, most of their losses were bad. And look, I get it. Georgia 35-14, fine. You know, that's expected. But you lost to South Carolina by 22. You gave up 56 to Tennessee. That's kind of rough, although they did have their best offensive game. Vandy smacked them around 45-17. And Louisville, your rival, 41-zip.
Yeah.
Ugh. I mean, so Louisville was pretty good, but they weren't that good. So my point is that it's fair to turn over a roster like that because, you know, they last year, we're not talking about them having all-world stuff. I mean, they tried, okay, I'm sorry. They tried Zach Calzada for a while, guys. Like that was not you know, they did not have all SEC defenders. Like I said, generally the Mark Stoops defenses were really good. That was their worst one. That was the most points in the last 7 or 8 years that they'd given up. And so I think it was fair to completely change it all. I mean, if you were a different style program and you were tired of not getting over the hump of 8 or 9 wins, it'd be one thing to keep some players from that. You're not trying to keep a ton of players from a team losing by 20, 30 points multiple times over. So I think it was fair to do that. So, all right, let's look at the schedule. Let's digest it. We'll give a ceiling and a floor.
Oof.
So they get the Penguins first.
Yep, Youngstown State.
That's a good thing, Youngstown State. And then, as Jack mentioned, death and destruction. Alabama, week number 2. That is in Lexington at the Kroger.
Yeah, whoopity-doo.
Week 3 at Texas A&M. Help. Week 4, they get South Alabama for another non-con game.
Okay.
Week 5 at South Carolina. Game 6, they host LSU. Game 7, they are in Norman. That's a tough one. Week 8, they got Vandy. Week 9, it's Halloween, and they have it off, so go trick-or-treating. Probably a trick for them. And then after that, it is at Tennessee, host Florida, at Missouri, and host Louisville. And again, guys, I just say to you, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Arkansas, they don't play each other at all. There are no opportunities against their cohorts in the bottom 3. Only, apparently, Vandy plays all these teams. Vandy's playing all of them. So that's your best bet when you're this type of team is you're hoping Vanderbilt falls back on hard times or maybe South Carolina, but you don't get to play the other teams at the bottom who are also been struggling around the last couple of years. So it's rough, man. Ceiling or floor, or ceiling and floor, excuse me.
Floor is 2-10. You know,
Okay.
And that's just giving them the wins over Youngstown and South. So I mean, I think that's realistic. Man, ceiling 5 and 7. I mean, I have a hard time seeing 5 on here, and what that's going to be determined is South Carolina not going to be very good, which a lot of people think that they're probably not going to be good, and that Beamer may be on his way out. So if South Carolina is not very good, if Missouri is not as good as people think, maybe Vanderbilt has a massive drop off without Pavia. So maybe they sneak a couple in there where there's some teams have really fallen off. But I think Stein has just got his hands full with trying to get the roster built right now. It's just not there. So, I mean, the floor is 2 and 10. The ceiling's 5 and 7. I think realistically, Kentucky probably win 3 or 4 games, maybe sneak into that 5th, but that's stretch.
It's a difficult schedule. I definitely 2 wins is probably going to be your floor. But I think seeing they could be 6 wins, I'm going to say things may work out into their favor. Obviously, you have South Carolina with Shane Beamer, kind of the hot seat right now. They make the change, the offense coordinator. If that doesn't work out, Beamer's not there again. Let's just be honest. So he has to work out for them. And then let's say Florida, if things aren't going right in the season or so, because I mean, they're still trying to figure out their quarterback. They haven't really named a starter yet. It's first-year head coach. Still we figure out some things. Got the win last year, maybe get to win home, field, and then same thing. Maybe I think get a win over like Louisville and probably I guess Missouri as well. But yeah, just they're looking around that whole schedule is just so tough because it's just going to be a really mental test for that because you're going to take some beatings early on in that season where most of the rest, I think you look around the league, most schedules are kind of spread out. Some people have them at, middle half of the season. They have them just late in the season where Kentucky is immediately going to hit the ground running as soon as they hit SEC play.
And, you talk about the mentality part. It was so weird that Kentucky gave in so much at the end of the year because they had beaten Auburn, Florida, and Tennessee Tech in a row to get to 5-5. Mm-hmm. Like you get one at the end, and I know Vandy was really good last year, but you get one against either Vandy or Louisville, and you're going bowling. For Kentucky again, you don't. I'm not saying you throw a parade, but you have a small party, and like you at least get a pizza party, and yet they lose a combined 86-17. Like that was weird, and so off of Jack's point. Are you beaten down after you've lost to very likely Alabama, A&M, LSU, Oklahoma, all in the first half of your schedule to the point where you actually have the more doable stuff? Like, are you committed at that point? Is Will Stein establishing a standard or not? Like, those are the questions that set the table. I have the same four that you guys have. I won't go to one for them. I don't think South Alabama will be particularly great out the Sun Belt this year. I could be wrong. But should not lose to them in Youngstown State. Of course, they could lose to Louisville. They did it triumphantly the last 2 years. I was telling you the 86-17 number. Well, the last 2 years against Louisville is a 82-14, so that's not really any better. So Jeff Brum's been doing good stuff for the Cardinals against them. Ceiling, look, I think it's either 5 or 6. You guys both hit the nail on the head there. They non-negotiable. They are not beating Bama. They're not beating A&M. They're not beating LSU. They're not beating Oklahoma. I don't think those 4 games are possible for them. I think the talent gap's too wide. My concern with them is I don't even like them against Louisville. And when you start to say that you can't win your non-conference game, do I really think Kentucky's going 4 wins in the league? No, I do not.
Right.
So I'll go a ceiling of 5-7, which again, that's what they went last year. If they went that. Again, everyone's got to establish a new normal and build from it. And I talked about this with Mississippi State. 2 wins is not acceptable for anybody, not even UMass, okay? But you establish that you've got to get your own players, your own identity in there, and you got to build it from there. And you do need to exceed people that came before you, but you have a couple of years to do that. So if Will Stein does go 3 or 4 wins this year, I'm not saying it's a disaster. I'm not saying it's hopeless. You're going to check the quarterback play. You're going to check the offensive numbers. You're going to check one possession games. You're going to check those things and see how far are they really. And a similar way to Mississippi State in that. But, it's always tough. And like I said, if Kentucky had Arkansas, Mississippi State on their schedule, someone might really be enabled to go to a bowl game. If they're all playing each other like that, you get your couple wins against those guys, you sneak another one in, you win your big non-con game, you got 6 wins. But we cannot forget, I'm going to keep shaking this into people's minds. You're going to be so tired of me saying this forever, at least for the next year. 8 more teams in the SEC must lose an extra game because of the extra conference game. I think Kentucky's one of them. So what's your actual record prediction for them before we go to break?
Actual prediction. I'll give them 3 wins. I'll give them 3. I think they get the 2 non-cons, and I think they sneak into kind of like they did last year. They sneak into a team that's just having a bad year and catch them, whether it be South Carolina or Missouri or maybe Vanderbilt. I think they stumble into one that's just not having a good year, and they kind of figure some things out and still won. So I'll give them 3 wins.
I'm going to go 4. I think they get one of those SC between South Carolina or let's say Missouri. One of those SC road games, kind of maybe a little statement. I know it's not as a big statement as some people would like, but kind of a statement win for the Will Stein era in Kentucky to get it started, to kind of build into the next year. But I just think 4 wins probably is where they're going to see the Wildcats next season.
Again, those are the 2 numbers in my head. You guys are both like straddling my thought process. So
minds think alike.
I voted Kentucky 15. I voted State 14. And, that's probably they have the same record and there's no technical way to tie break them since they didn't play. I was kind of thinking State would only win 1 conference game, so I'm probably going Kentucky wins 1 conference game. And I like Louisville enough to where I don't think Kentucky beats Louisville. So if you follow that line of thinking, it's 3-9. Now, look, it's college football, and we're going to do this great exercise 13 more times, and we're going to be incredibly wrong at some, and we're going to be right on others. The thing is that if we looked at it, we did not think Auburn was losing a home game in Kentucky last year. There's just no way. And we did not think maybe we could have summoned Kentucky beating Florida. Did you think Kentucky would beat Florida 38-7 last year? No, I did not. On a year that Kentucky still fired their coach, especially not. So there's things in here where, to me, yeah, Kentucky should not be beating Missouri this year. I think Missouri's an 8-ish win team. They might. It might be dumb. Might be Austin Simmons throws 3 picks. Ahmad Hardy doesn't play in the game. I don't know. Kentucky could go and beat South Carolina, and they want to throw Shane Beamer into a river, and I don't know. They could beat Vandy. There's plenty of possibilities.
Sure.
But I think on the piece of paper, I think they're the weaker team of all those games. And Kroger Field does not offer me a good enough home field to be like, oh, well, I just don't think Vandy can go in there and beat them. That would be weird to say. Yeah. Or I don't think Florida could go in there and beat them. Okay, well, obviously it didn't go well for them last year, but that's why Florida changed their coach too. So they'll get somebody, even though Vegas would not favor them. And look, I still like Will Stein long term, but they are down at the bottom of the league for a reason. They got a lot of work to do. All right, that's our look at Kentucky coming up tomorrow. I believe number 13 in the league was South Carolina. I will double check that in the preseason polling. But we'll get to whoever number 13 is. Yeah, I think it's South Carolina. Who else would it be? Would it be? I'm going to say it's South Carolina. Stand on that. So we'll get to number 13 in the preseason SEC tomorrow. But coming up next, it'll be time for Best and Worst of the Weekend. This is the Monday edition of Sports Call live on Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, the free-to-use Tiger Communications app, and streaming live on Facebook and YouTube at Sports Call Auburn.
Sports Call is on the air weekdays from 3 until 6 p.m.
I read a book about this sort of thing once. Are you sure it was a book? Are you sure it wasn't nothing? Oh, yeah.
We're Auburn's first and Auburn's favorite sports talk show.
Weather brought to you by Auburn University Credit Union. Tiger Rewards checking at Auburn University Credit Union gives you the tools to manage your credit, monitor for fraud, telehealth services, loan discounts, and more. Visit myaucu.org for more details. Federally insured by the NCUA, Equal Opportunity Lender.
First full week of August is underway, and we will see a pretty similar weather pattern for most of this week. High temperatures today will be in the upper 80s. We'll see about a quarter of the area subjected to a scattered shower or thunderstorm in the afternoon hours. Lows will be around 70 overnight. Tomorrow, very similar. Highs in the upper 80s, maybe 90 in a few places. About 20% will see another round of isolated showers and thunderstorms, and lows dropping into the low 70s. I'm Ryan Lavoie for your Tiger Communications
Communications weather update.
TK's convenience stores have a brand new look. That's right. Look for the red, white, and blue. It's Arco, American-owned top-tier gasoline, now at select TK's locations. Need great gas at a great price? TK's and Arco have you covered with the best price gas in town. American-made fuel for you and your family. So roll into your neighborhood TK's today, where TK's and Arco are as American as apple pie.
Hey folks, dinner time just got a whole lot easier. Swing by Waldo's Chicken and Beer on South College Street and grab the family meal deal. We're talking a whole bucket of bird, plus those famous cheesy biscuits, fresh coleslaw, and 2 sides. Go creamy mac and cheese, collards, potato wedges, whatever feeds your flock. And hey, make it a Thursday thing. It's kids' night at Waldo's. Bring the family, hang on the patio, play a little golden tea, while the grown-ups kick back with a frozen Waldo Rita. Good food, happy kids, and a little time to relax. What more could you ask for? Waldo's Chicken and Beer, South College Street in Auburn.
Looking to put the cherry on top of the perfect meal? Honey Baked Ham in Opelika has you covered, with desserts that are almost too good to share. From our rich cinnamon and blueberry coffee cakes to southern pecan, apple caramel walnut, and more, our pies are pure comfort in every bite. And if cakes are your thing, we've got coconut, triple chocolate, and of course, a classic red velvet that'll make you wish every day was dessert day. There's no better way to finish your meal than with a sweet treat from Honey Baked Ham. Come get yours today, located at 1451 Gateway Drive in Opelika.
Weekdays from noon until 3 p.m. Join Tilly the Elder Emo for Flashback Lunch and all your favorite alternative rock in the afternoon. Only on Tiger 95.9 and on the Tiger Communications app.
From the very beginning in 1907, Auburn Bank's mission has been to promote our community, see businesses flourish, and improve the livelihoods of local citizens. We have operated a simple and straightforward business model built on a foundation of sound business decisions and a caring response. Our local team stands ready to discuss your financial needs and goals. Auburn Bank, champions of you. Member FDIC. Online at auburnbank.com.
Looking for a new fitness home? Look no further than Tiger Iron Gym in Auburn. Our fitness area spans over 20,000 square feet, providing ample space for all your workout needs. Featuring an AstroTurf training area, an extensive range of cardio equipment that will get your heart pumping, and we are one of the largest 24-hour free weight gyms in America. Worried about parking? Don't. We have you covered with tons of parking spaces so you can focus on your workout. And we are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year to fit your busy schedule. Plus, we're locally owned and operated, not some big corporate gym. And you can experience all of this for just $29.99 a month with no contract. Join us today and take charge of your fitness goals. Tiger Iron Gym, South College Street in Auburn.
We're done paying the bills. Now back to Sports Call on Tiger 95.9.
Welcome back. This is the Monday edition of Sports Call, Tiger 95.9, the Tiger.fm, and the Tiger Communications app. Ryan, Jack, and Tom with you here this afternoon, hanging out. First show of the month of August. There is college football this month, friends, and there's actually a bunch of preseason NFL if you are into that also.
I am a sicko. So
you will be into that. You'll be watching. And JJ's Panthers are up on Thursday. Like we are almost there. Almost there indeed. All right. So again, we just previewed Kentucky. Of course, I got it wrong. I was like, South Carolina? I think South Carolina's right. I was wrong. 13th in the league this year is Vanderbilt, according to the preseason media poll. So Vanderbilt will be our preview team tomorrow. Auburn was picked 12th, so they will be Wednesday. Then South Carolina will be on Thursday.
I mean, what does the media know? It's not like we voted for it or anything. I mean, what do they know? So.
Hey, look, we collectively would have brought the average of Auburn up. So
you know,
they were pretty far away from 11 and pretty far away from 13, though. So,
I really would like to see like the range Auburn was at. Like I want to see
who
like,
the highest or who
Yeah.
had them highest, and
because the lowest I think I saw was 15, but like I would be interested to see like who had them like really high, who had maybe at 16 or so, but like.
And having 15, you got to have them losing to Florida, Vandy, and probably Mississippi.
It's gotta be
State.
like a run.
Like you only beat Arkansas, and
Yeah.
that would be a disgusting season. I'll just be perfectly honest with you. All right, so we're getting towards the end of the program today. Before we get to best and worst, last thing I want to mention, I watched an extreme amount of the Rocket Invitational yesterday, which is not JJ's AC Reynolds Rockets about some cross country meet or something like that. That was I guess I should say Rocket Classic, the PGA Tour event in Detroit. They are apparently done with that tournament after this year. They did not renew the contract on it. Watched it a lot for Jackson Coyven, who unfortunately bowed out a little bit at the end. So he finished in a tie for 38th, I believe.
31st.
31st. Okay, not at the 8 under.
He didn't make the cut, though.
Right, didn't make the cut. It's that he bogeyed 2 of the last 3 holes that he played, and he would have been top 20. Would have been tied 20th. Don't really think it affected the FedEx Cup standings to be between 20th and 38th, but I don't know that for a fact. I do know he's still 70th, but what I'm saying is could he have been 69th? I don't know. But the moral of the story was he did not move. And I misspoke last week. I've been doing that a lot lately. And there is still one more PGA Tour event before the FedEx Cup rankings. It's the Wyndham Championship in Greensboro this week.
And he almost won that tournament as an amateur.
So
he
should be a good course for him.
Should work well for him. His putter's got to get better.
But same strategy. Got to make the cut.
Yeah.
Accrue a few points, and he needs someone from behind him not to go win or finish second. Like you want, if you're rooting for Coyven to make the FedEx Cup, you want someone really well to go win the tournament. Like it doesn't even have to be Scotty Scheffler. Like it'd be Ricky Fowler, or Xander Schauffele. Like you just need somebody you are very familiar with that's good FedEx Cup standing to do well. If you see a bunch of guys you've never heard of, and they've got like red numbers on the FedEx Cup ranking, they're 125th, they're 102, and they're all hovering around the lead. Not a good thing. Not a good thing. Do not want them to win. So again, we'll talk about that more towards the end of the week. But Jackson did fine. Not a horrible tournament at all. Could have been a little better, finished a little stronger, but again, still in position to do an incredible thing, and only on a handful of tour events make the FedEx Cup. So.
Yeah, his putter really let him down. He struggled with the greens there. Like I mentioned, this tournament that he's about to play in, he finished 3rd as an amateur.
Yeah,
in last year's tournament. So
he will be advancing if he finishes 3rd again.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely. So, but it just shows that he can. That course apparently suits his game pretty well. So
yeah,
unless something's going crazy and going haywire with his putter, there's just bad weekend, with the short game. I don't know.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm interested. Speaking of golf, Auburn got a commitment from one of the top juniors, one of the top 2028 juniors, Rory Arelta, I forget, like the number 2 ranked junior in the country, committed to Auburn. So Auburn golf reloading after Mr. Coyven has moved on.
Yes, indeed. Gonna probably just call him Rory because when you think in the golf world, you say Rory, you're talking about the number 2 player in the world. So
yeah,
be number 2 in all the aggregate ranking there. So they've already got some commits for 27, but he's 28, so he's well ahead of schedule to already be rated that high. Auburn golf trying to continue the standard now set by these last few teams.
Yeah, they set a standard in the classroom too. 4 of them made all American scholars today too. Coyven was one of them from this previous season. So,
and you know what? I love education. He will not need his. But
as a former country club, that's what it is. Country club sport, college athlete. It was always them, all American. Because I mean, heck, that's why it's like on my when I use my resume, I always put that I was a 3-time NJCAA All American, honors and all that. So I always laugh about that. But.
Love it. All right, few minutes left in the program today. Time for best and worst of the weekend.
Now, time for the best and worst.
No
No! Of the weekend.
All right, best and worst of the weekend. Tom, start us off.
Yeah, man, I'll go best, and I'll go Braves. Braves are playing some really good baseball. Just swept the Nationals, and looking pretty darn good doing it. Hitting a lot of home runs and getting some, oddly enough, getting some good pitching from guys that are not named Chris Sale. That's been a pretty darn good run here for the Braves coming out of All-Star break. They need to keep doing it. They need to keep pushing because I don't know that they're going to catch the Dodgers necessarily, even though the Dodgers just got swept, but keep putting distance between the Phillies and the Marlins and all of them. But yeah,
absolutely
good stuff from the Braves this weekend, this past week and weekend. I
I think
guess
the lead's back up to 8.
Yeah.
On Philly,
Yeah,
and
22 games over 500.
Yeah,
something like that.
So trending back in the right direction.
Yeah.
Philly still could make a run, but we feel great. I mean, they're going to make the playoffs at this point. It's just
Right.
a question of, do they pull away in this division? Is it tight in the end? Definitely not going to be the Mets people from a few years ago and start counting chickens. Chickens not being counted.
Now,
but-
the Phillies did make some decent moves at the deadline, so their roster is going to kind of look a little different.
My personal favorite is Luis Arias because he's
Yeah.
the contact hitter at
Right.
315, 320 every year. So good player.
They've got to learn
Yeah.
to put teams. The Phillies have struggled. They'll have big leads going late in the games and blow it. I mean, their bullpen has just been blowing lead after lead after lead. So if they can figure that out, they could be dangerous. They're a good team. They've just got to figure out what's like holding them up, which sounds like bullpen.
Sure. Jack, your best.
I might be taking a little bit yours, but I won't touch on it too much. But I gotta go with movies right now. Just movie theaters. Just excited, as I mentioned early on, start the show, that I do enjoy movie theaters. It's funny because I'm not a big movie watcher, but I do love, if I'm gonna watch a movie, I want to go see it in the theater more than anything else. Because I don't know, it maybe just helps that ADHD in me that I just enjoy sitting down with popcorn, finishing it before even the first trailer, of course. But just movies. Go see a movie. Sometimes there's a lot of good ones out right now. It seems to be ramping up right now.
Yeah. So that is my best. But I've got the numbers I alluded to earlier in the show to show you how well it's going right now. So Spider-Man Brand New Day opened to $355 million this weekend in the U.S. It made $927 million in the world. For reference, that is already 4th this year in the world. That is already 5th this year in the U.S. Toy Story 5 leads at 461.7. So Spider-Man Brand New Day could probably catch that by Friday. And worldwide, Toy Story 5, 1.1 billion. The Spider-Man probably will catch that in a day or two. Tremendous stuff there. The Odyssey has also done great. It's nearly 400 million now in the U.S. That will go click over either today or tomorrow. It is 911.4 in the world. That'll click to $1 billion by the end of its run. Here is the point that I'm trying to make. This weekend, Tom had mentioned this stat. This weekend, the box office did more than $425 million of business. That's one of the best totals in a long, long time. And yearly box office totals. Last few years, obviously since COVID, first couple of years after COVID, way down. 2023, we saw $8.9 billion at the domestic box office, $8.5 billion in 2024, $8.6 billion in 2025. In 2026, we are already at $6.1 billion. That is, if you do the math at home, that is roughly 75% or so of what the last few years are doing, 73, 74% to be more exact. Yet, we're only through 7 months of the year, which is, 57, 58% of the year. So we are on track to do the best figure since 2019 at the box office. That was 11.3 billion. I don't think they'll get to 11.3 billion, but they're kind of on track for 10 plus. So we'll see how long these legs have for Spider-Man. We'll see how the releases go. Again, we mentioned a couple big ones. I think the last Jumanji movie is at the end of the year too, on top of all these things, Avengers and a Hunger Games movie. So all that to say, I'm glad the box office is doing really well. I go frequently. I've been an AMC A-list member for, I don't know, 8 years now. Like, I think No, longer than maybe 10. Like I've been doing it since I was in college, and I just think that it's really important to keep these things going. We saw here in our local community one of them close. We had two. The one on East University down by the mall closed, so we're down to the one in Tigertown. And I don't think we'll ever see the day where there's zero here, but if that ever happened, I would be a train wreck, and that would be a travesty. So support the local movie theaters. I know there's a ton of people going right now, but it's really great content. Heard nothing but positive things from both Spider-Man and the Odyssey. There'll be more great movies coming out in the coming weeks and months. And so I'm just glad the movie theater is doing very well. So there's your PSA and your best there. Worst of the weekend.
All right. So worst of the weekend. Normally me working in the garden is a best, and I still enjoyed it, but I had to pull up some old plants and get ready to replant. But something got a hold of me. And,
no.
I woke up the next day and kind of hard to see.
Oh, I do see it.
Yeah, on my arm. Not really sure what kind of critter got me, but I felt it, and I didn't see active bug on my arm or anything like that. But like I woke up the next day with lots of bug bites on my arm, and I was like, that's miserable. So that's fun.
That is not fun.
No, yeah. So I've been treating that. Like I said, if I'm going to get bit by something, at least I want to know what I got bit by.
Yeah.
That was just like some magical, invisible, creepy crawly that got me.
Yeah. Creepy crawlies.
Great. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So fun stuff. That's my worst. Got my arm tore up by some invisible bug or something.
Sure. Jack, your worst?
I really don't have one. As I said, it was just a lazy weekend. Didn't do much. So
no bugs got you.
Yeah. My bugs got my dog. I'll admit, because coming back from Talladega, being on the farm, I think he got into like an ant bed because when I got back, and I got back Thursday, but I didn't notice till Friday on his like back leg, he got lit up. Looks like he got lit up by ants, but yeah, he's doing fine. Of course, he just stares at you like nothing's the matter, but he's fine. But yeah, it was a good weekend, lazy, so nothing to complain about.
My worst will be, look, it's not a general thing of sports because, again, I always know the summer's going to be slower. That's fine. I think it's good downtime to get ready for a very busy season. But my worst is there's no NASCAR events whatsoever this past weekend. You guys know that I had been doing a pretty religious job of seeing every lap of the Cup race. I missed probably 200 of the laps at North Wilkesboro when we were down in Tampa for media days. We still got to watch some of it when we went to dinner and stuff. But, it's not even, there's no Cup race. There's no even a Riley race, no truck race, nothing to whet the appetite of cars going fast over the weekend. So
that's boo.
It is a boo. So they'll be back. They're going to get it going. They got Iowa, got New Hampshire coming up. Of course, Daytona in a few weeks to finish off the regular season. I think that's the night of week 0. That's Saturday, August 29th. So you'll need a 2-screener for that one. Have a little football going and have a Daytona race to watch. But
it's night race, right?
Yep, Daytona night race. So look, I can complain about the car till I'm blue in the face. I still watch all of it. So I miss it when it's not there. I'll be glad to have that back this upcoming weekend. And that is going to about do it for our program today. It certainly does it for best and worst of the weekend. Again, tomorrow on the program, we're going to get to our next SEC team, that will be Vanderbilt, who was voted 13th in the SEC. So we'll preview them, maybe do some more trade deadline recap with the last couple of deals that came through and deals we did not talk about. We'll do more coverage of Auburn as they get going with fall camp on Wednesday, or fall practice on Wednesday. We're going to hear from Alex Golish and company tomorrow, so that should be good. So have a lot of fun stuff for you on tomorrow's edition of the program. But that will do it for us here on this Monday. Jack Meyer, thank you for being here today, sir. We'll see you again later this week.
See you then.
And Tom Peavy, thank you for being here today, sir. We'll see you tomorrow.
Absolutely. Enjoyed it.
That does it for us here on this Monday. Another thank you to Jared Dillard for running our production of the stream on both YouTube and Facebook. And thank you to all those who called in, but also tuned in with the many ways to listen or watch our show. For Jack Myrick and Tom Peavy, my name is Ryan Lavoie. Have a great rest of your Monday, and we will talk to you again tomorrow.